Good evening, folks. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm Johnny, your DM, and tonight I'm joined by Brad.
Hiya.
Ryan.
Hello.
Becki.
Hello.
Christine.
Hi.
Sean.
Yes.
And Dan.
Hello.
And you've caught us arguing about cake.
Yes. You caught us arguing about cakes.
We were just before we
Very
went on.
contentious comment was made.
I need somebody to back me up. You don't have to back
No
me
one's
up
going
openly.
to.
You can secretly
No
do
one.
it on our social medias. But I think that if you're gonna have fruit, have fruit. If you're gonna have cake, have cake.
I vehemently
Never the twain shall meet.
I disagree.
You ruin the fruit by piling on the calories and the sugar, and you ruin the cake by having delicious fruit with it.
No,
It's
you're
like, what do
missing
you
the
do?
point. If you have fruit in your cake, then it's becoming one of your 5 a day. This is the
What
thing.
is that?
I completely agree with this.
Nice
To
one.
me,
Didn't think of
carrot
that.
cake is a salad. Like,
Yeah.
carrot cake's a salad. Come on, guys. We know this.
Fruit cake is just good.
If you cut a cake, all the calories fall out. So it's also
okay.
It's true.
doesn't count towards your
That's now
calories.
1/6
Does that
of
mean
the
you have to
calories.
That's how I normally eat a cake, just pick it up and bite into it. So
Just
now I've learned to
holding.
cut it first calories.
I just think eat your cake one day, eat your fruit the other day, then you get 2 days worth of dessert.
What, you
No.
only eat fruit every other day? Is that what you're saying?
If I have cake, I do. Then I divide the cake.
That's not how that works.
Fruit,
not how-
cake, fruit.
Yeah, I've actually got
That's
to
why
raise
I've got this body, the cake fruit diet.
an interesting and separate contentious point there based on something you said, Dan. I don't eat fruit every day. I, in fact, can leave fruit almost entirely out of my diet. I adore green vegetables and will get my supplements from those.
Right.
But I really dislike fruit.
Are you
See,
doubling up on tomatoes?
I'm not very fruity either. I'll agree.
Minus
I
tomatoes,
love-
which are ridiculously are a fruit, but they are good.
See, apples, people eat apples wrong, and that's what gets at me, right? You got to eat apples from the butt, right? Got to eat apple from the butt, because otherwise you waste 30% of an apple by leaving the core. So
You
instead of
know that-
eating round the side, right, you get right up in the bottom bit, and you just go like at it from the bottom, and then you
I
miss the
feel
core
like somebody has
completely.
told you this as a dare, and you've just, it's like sunk
Hey,
in.
there's loads of video proof. You waste
No.
30% of an apple if you eat it like.
I mean,
That
is
is how they ate it in
is
the
that
Wild
the same
West.
YouTube channel as the Earth is flat? Is that like the same YouTube?
No.
Yeah,
no,
you
legit,
people who watch this
legit.
watch that.
You,
Yeah.
you eat apples from the butt. That's how you do it.
That might be
But
the
the
most
thing is-
controversial statement so far, to be honest. I
That
fundamentally
has to
disagree.
be like out of context quote
So
of the
you
week.
can, and also what you
Yeah,
can do, you
eat
can
it
take this,
from the butt.
you can take the stalk out of the apple, poke it into the apple, turn it into a tiny apple tank. Sean used to do this, and drive an apple tank around, and then eat the
What?
apple from the butt.
I feel like we're learning a lot about the Scott boys tonight that we
Yeah.
perhaps didn't need to know.
Yeah.
You can't play with your apple if it's placed and sliced on top of a cake. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You can't make a tank out of a cake.
Well,
Literally,
you can drown it in
Probably
custard.
could make a pretty good tank out of a cake.
Speaking of sweets, I've already got some delicious mini egg chocolate.
Other alternatives are also available.
We're not the BBC, it's fine.
But
Oh,
the thing is, this has been around since the January 1st. And like, when is
No,
Easter? Like,
you
Easter eggs
see-
are already in.
No, because my brother works for Tesco's, and I know for a fact that the Easter eggs are in the supermarkets in December. So
That's like, what is that? Like 4 months ahead of time?
yeah, pretty much.
I genuinely still think it's March, so it doesn't really matter.
It's just
Where we
like
are.
if someone, if I'm like buying this stuff 4 months in advance, people are like, oh, that's okay, it's extra sweets. If I like buy all my Christmas presents 4 months in advance, people are like, oh, you're a crazy person. How are you doing that
That's
so
what I did.
early?
Yeah, we were done
Well,
Christmas
you're a
shopping
crazy
in,
person,
like,
Brad.
I did it all
October.
in October.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
all crazy people. You're all crazy.
My
people.
mum gets all
January
of her
sales.
Christmas wrapping before December. She gets all of her next year's Christmas wrapping bought in the last week of December. So that week between
That's
Christmas,
it,
because
that's
that's when it's on sale and they want to
Yeah.
get rid of it.
I think
Wow.
what we're proving tonight is that we are a really unified cast in our beliefs and values. And a place where people can come to share unified thoughts is social media. And Ryan, I believe we have social media.
We
Allegedly.
have lots of social media where people are liking and subscribing. You can follow all of that at Blood and Song or at Total Party Win. We have already got some really interesting things in the Twitter, in the Twitch live chat, for example, today. Jim Bob saying, don't eat anything from the butt. Totally disagree with that.
That's the out of context quote. We should have that one.
And also saying that fruit cake. He's put front cake. I assume that's either a type of cake or just a misspelling.
Front
of
cake is
in
just a nasty,
frau-
nasty
I
term.
think
It's
frau
just
is
Don't
talking
eat
the
about
front
the
cake
other
or
side.
anything from the butt. That's the front or butt cake. Doesn't.
Frau is like the
Fruitcake's an
front, yeah,
abomination, and we
frau,
all
right.
know it, right?
Fruitcake is controversially the best cake.
No,
as long
it's
as
the
you
worst
leave
cake.
icing off and just give me the fruitcake.
But the reason why fruitcake exists is like from the Middle Ages. Like you can put it outside in a storm, and a month later you can still eat it. I don't want anything that can survive a storm.
To be fair, that is the only way I eat my fruitcake. If it hasn't been my lightning,
Aged
the point.
1 month out.
I want my cake rock and roll, not like I got it in, no offence, Christine, a tiny amazing tea shop. I want my cake hardcore.
If you want hardcore cake, you need to go to an independent tea room. Just saying.
I
Unfortunately, they are
I
all
like the
closed at
idea
moment.
of going to an independent tea room and going, "Give me some hardcore cake."
They were the mate.
Email.
Hardest cake.
As soon as lockdown's over, Christine, you
Do
ask
it.
for it. Out of context as well.
Mate,
just
you give us
turn
a
up.
day. You give us a day. You come to my tea room. We will kill you with cake.
Where is your tea
Ooh.
room, Christine?
That's pretty violent.
It's
Yeah.
on the Isle of Sheffy and Queenborough.
I know we're in a lockdown and everything, but
Yeah.
but when the lockdown lifts, where can we get lovely tea from?
Oh my God, you need to come. It's called Bosun's. It's in a building that was an old yacht chandlery, and it's lovely.
What's a chandlery?
It's like an ironmonger's where you can go and get all your bits and
Oh,
pieces
that's
for your
cool.
boats. And the guy, I think it closed about 15 years ago, and the guy who used to own it has been bringing little bits to us. So now we've got the sign that was used to be up on the side of the building. That's all framed up, and he had the little sign that he used to write the day's tides and things like that on it. And yeah, just loads of little bits of memorabilia. It's a really old.
What's your
building.
speciality? What's the thing to come in and ask for?
Oh,
the thing
hot,
to
oh my
order?
God!
Hardcore cake.
Actually, yes, but we do killer brownies. But we've got an Aero mint chocolate Aero hot chocolates and salted caramel Aero hot chocolates as well. So
Gosh.
I absolutely recommend them,
This
and you
sounds
can have
quite
them
like a-
with cream and broken up bits of Aero on top, and
Not
some extra
sponsored?
syrup as well.
I'm liking this selling.
Mate,
point.
come
We've
on in,
got
it's great.
killer
Come
brownies
on
and
out.
hardcore cakes.
Honestly, you will walk out.
Come to Bosun's,
thinking,
we'll kill you with cake. That was literally what you said.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Sandra. She'll put it all over
Tagline.
social media.
Tagline.
That'll be amazing when we're allowed.
as long as you have Blood and Song streaming in the background on one
Yeah.
of the tellies, because I'm
We'll
sure
come and do a
all
live
the,
stream from there.
clientele will love
That'd be
that.
good, wouldn't it?
I think what people really want to watch is us play D&D whilst eating cake. We can do at least one of those two things tonight. So unless anyone else has got,
Yeah, see you later.
unless anyone else has anything more to add, then I think it really is about time we dive into tonight's episode of Blood and Song.
Back in.
Hello.
Hello everyone and welcome.
Hey.
So in the last few adventures we've sorry, I'm just captivated by watching Sean. We've been
You want to hear it, mate?
And we've lost all viewership now and in the
Yeah,
future.
that-
Except the ASMR crowd who love that.
Or the mukbang crowd as well.
Right, let's not get distracted again.
So it's you've been heading north on your journey to find Ignis Day, sent by Inmara, who runs the hospital in Cinderbane, so he can give you some help and possibly find out what the mysterious artifact you carry is. Along the way, you'd been travelling and you'd come across a hamlet that had been overrun by undead creatures that had risen from the grave in the local cemetery. You managed to defeat them all fairly easily and spectacularly, and then remembered to clean up, which was very good, and you rescued a small family. The mother and father in the family were absolutely delighted to have you stay the night and look after you, and the little girl in particular had become very attached to Ripper and started idolising him. The next day, you headed to the cemetery to investigate what you could find, and you found that there weren't really many clues other than a mysterious figure had been there with some kind of bird on his shoulder. Yet again, Speak with Animals was abused, and you, again, didn't find too much more. Lack had an interesting experience that no one else really noticed, and you sort of gathered your things and ended the session heading off on the road. So we pick up tonight there with you on the road heading north. Can someone roll me a survival check, please?
I'll go.
Sure.
Ooh, that is going to be a 16. 16 from Ripper.
Okay. So as you're heading north, you manage to keep direction because you've got a choice between two directions on the road. Luckily, the roads here are very well signposted, and you notice as you heading north that the road's getting wider as well. They've been fairly wide and well paved, but now they're becoming about 30 feet wide. The paving is starting to become almost magically smooth. You can see that it was flagstones, but there's no joins between them where cement or any other fixtures are used. It seems to be fusing together like molten rock. Perfectly smooth. The horses and carts are absolutely fine. They managed to pick up some speed with that roll. You pass several Legion patrols during that day who just nod at you and otherwise completely ignore you, still bearing the sign of the legions that you've seen around Cinderbane. And that brings you to the evening, where you've got a camp. Would anyone like to do anything?
Lack, I'm telling you, right? All you got to do when you get your apple, yeah, you eat it from the bottom, right? And then you don't waste anything, right? 30% of an apple gets wasted every time you eat it if you eat like a normal.
Could you not
normal
eat it
human.
from the side and do the same thing?
No, because like then you have that weird concave bit, and then you know. You
My
can't
mother
get it
always
past your
told me
cheeks.
if you eat the seeds, an apple tree will go on your belly. So
That is very true. I was also told that story when I was a kid. I think that might be like an Enderian thing, you know.
Maybe.
But I'm telling you, I've eaten. Octavius,
What?
you do that thing with like nature and stuff, don't you? Like, can a tree grow inside of a tummy?
Yes.
see, you're in trouble now, Ripper.
Can I insight check?
You just
that?
got away with it.
Faeza, can you just make an intelligence or history check?
Oh Lord.
You will have advantage on this, by the way.
Okay. Ooh, 23.
You instantly know from your travels that it's impossible for trees to grow inside belly, but apple seeds do contain cyanide, so it's generally why parents try not to tell their children to eat apple seeds.
Okay. I think
A few won't kill you,
I mean,
but if you eat too many, it is incredibly deadly.
It's trace amounts, and you'd have to eat like a football field's worth in one go to get any amount of cyanide in you to kill
Which
you.
I
But
believe that Ripper could do.
probably.
So
Exactly.
Ripper needs to be careful with his.
Good job that at
apples.
football in this. in this
Sixsmith walks past and he goes, "Could you hold it by its little antenna and eat it like that?"
I mean, while Faeza doesn't.
That's what
believe
it's there
it,
for.
Does Ripper?
Don't know. Make a deception check versus insight.
Right, come on. Give me a luck, Ryan. Give me a luck.
Don't brag this
Listen,
guy.
mate, you've got to beat a dirty 20.
What's my plus? -2, so 9.
You see through.
I knew it. I knew.
Octavius.
That is the first time though this entire journey that you've tried to crack a joke, right? So I'm happy with that at least. Nice one, and I give him a little pat on the shoulder.
What is the difference between a
Yes,
joke
joke.
and a lie? That is what I'm interested in.
One's funny, one's hurts people's.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's right.
So, would anyone else like to do anything else at the campfire this evening? No. In that case, you manage to head to bed, you set your watches, it all goes fine, you don't really notice anything through the night. The next day travels, it rises, and you start again. In fact, the next several days become increasingly similar. You rise, you travel through the day, you go past nature that's becoming a little bit colder as you go north. The autumn is drawing in a little bit now. The leaves have well and truly fallen from most of the trees. You do start seeing off to the west the kind of distant outlines of a forest getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Octavius explains to you in your journeys that this is the Glimmerwood itself, which is where Glimmerwood is found. It is a giant forest that stretches for hundreds of miles and is still relatively wild. You take a turning on the road, and eventually, in about 4 or 5 days' time, you come to the town of Timbergrasp. Timbergrasp is at the intersection of 2 main roads: the road to the city of Glimmerwood and the road to Shade Mantle. It is essentially a trading town that, as you get through, as you pull the horse and carts into, you notice the roads are increasingly wide here, immaculately kept. There is still, every time some kind of mud or horse droppings or something falls down, within 5 minutes there is a clean-up crew out there taking care of it. This is probably the most cosmopolitan place you've seen. Technically, Cinderbane was much bigger, but Cinderbane had the feeling of a decaying town or decaying city long past its prime. This is a bustling merchant town. The main thing you see heading east is rows after rows of carts of Glimmerwood, transported and armed and protected by legions or by mercenaries, depending on which insignia the wagon is wearing. As you come in, you see various things. At this point, you notice that your supplies are running a little low, and you will need to stop. You notice a public bath as you go past, which Octavius would point out to you all. The rest of you might not be too familiar with them in this format, as they just look like another building, whereas everyone from Indiri or more south would be known to have them as kind of quite an open space, more like open bathing pools. These seem to be like the Roman baths in Bath, kind of hidden inside a building with a huge sign outside. There are several inns just lining the road, scattering the place. You notice at the very intersection where the 2 main roads cross, a giant trading post made out of immaculately speckled marble with these kind of green swirls rolling through it. The sign itself in burnished golds and looking very prosperous. You see people coming in and out wearing what I'm going to describe as togas and immaculately kind of dressed and coiffed hats. And you also notice, not too far on the opposite side, on the corner, an actual guard station. So where you've gone past Legion houses or hostels in the evenings, this is the first time you've essentially seen what looks like a mini barracks. It is the kind of the garrison of this town. So you find yourself pulling in about mid-afternoon by the time you get here, mud-splattered, tired and weary from your journeys. What would you like to do?
Is there a boy and or girl around that I can ask question to?
It is a town. There is a plethora of people.
I want to find out where we can put our... Excuse me, you, someone down there, one of you lot. Is there a place we can put horses that don't get stolen in this city, town, country?
A small urchin who's just wearing quite a ragged-looking tunic. He's got a bit of kind of like coal smudge across his nose and this kind of dirty blonde hair. You could just notice under the hair 2 tiny, they almost look like the very beginnings of horns. Just tiny little stumps of horns growing in. And he looks up at you on the cart and he goes, yeah, right, what you want to do is you want to go to, well, there's loads of places really. Do you want to spend like a lot of money, not a lot of money? How safe do you want your horses?
I mean, the normal amount? Like,
Normal amount south. Yeah, right. In that case, might I recommend the Golden Leaf Inn?
All right. What is there like? Is it got like Caravanesi we can pull in there and then we can like?
Yeah, it's
Top 'em
got
off.
stables and everything. Like,
That'll
look
do.
after it all. Lovely.
All right, thanks, kid. And I flick him a
Can
quarter.
Check that he's lying, please.
Yeah, sure. Make an insight check.
Just impressed with Caravanesi there, right?
He's got those,
It's all right.
those
Thank you
dollars,
very
hasn't
much. One of mine and Sean's favourite Santana albums.
he? Yeah, it's a corker. It's my flying album, my flight album.
16.
Go on.
Listen, he's got those dollars though, so it doesn't matter if you insight check him now. He's got it.
So he does grab the money, and as you're looking at him, Octavius, you sense that in a town as prosperous as this, he has no reason to lie about these sort of things. You've at least heard of Timbergrasp before, and as you're coming through, looking around, you get the sense that the directions he gives you are close enough that you know that Chinellan cities have a fairly similar layout in terms of where they would put the rougher estates or regions, and this seems to be within the trading quarter, so it's probably a fairly decent place.
As we're riding away, I want to say to the kid, by the way, kid, name's Ripper. I'm the new Hand of Valoria. I'm basically a new hero around here, right? I'll see you later, mate. Yeah.
Ripper, you're riding it the wrong way. You're going backward.
Oh, sorry. Let me just remind you my name again. Yeah, it was Ripper. Yep. Okay. Cool. I'll.
That's much better.
I think it's
Much
part of
better.
his whole patter, you know, his whole thing.
The boy, just gangly kind of teen youth, just looks at you and just walks off into the crowd.
There's no such thing as Chekhov's bystander.
Or is there? So what would you like to do? You stand in this place, you now know that there is an inn. There are several other locations you could visit. Would you like to head and park your horses first? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
damn
think-
straight.
Couple of things. We need to secure the horses. Maybe secure a room in that inn. I know. I need a bath or an excuse.
Yeah,
to
you know,
or an
I'd
excuse to
kill
take more
for
of
a
my clothes off.
Public bath, you know. It's been a long time since I've been in part of a public
Octavius, do people, you know, like, do people go nude here, or are they prudish, like, you know, some of us?
No, it's public. It's a public bath.
Are we
I'm not sure-
talking everything on
Wait,
show?
bath. You know, that doesn't answer the question.
It's a
Yeah.
bath. Like, why would you go to a bath with clothes on?
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, like, look, some people, you know, wear
Because
a
it's
t-shirt.
covered up. In
Yes.
theory, it would be just
I mean, you
an
might
open
bring a
pool.
towel in with you if you really want to, but I mean, nobody cares.
Good. All right, perfect. So I need a bath, and then I guess we need to get some supplies and stuff. But, like, first of all, let's find hostel, yeah?
so as you follow the boy's directions, you easily find the inn, and as you draw up, it is a respectable looking place with a inner courtyard where as you pull in you can see two sets of stables. There are some hostlers there waiting for you who take your horses and say, yes, if you just go inside, talk to Kestrana, we'll look after your horses till that's all settled.
Before we go in, I'm just gonna cast prestidigitation to clean up our clothes a bit, to make them
Okay.
a bit cleaner. We'll go so we've got a bit more of a better impression when we walk in.
Can I just briefly check as well somehow that they actually work there? Sixsmith has been burnt before. He wants to just check that they are in
I would
fact.
say you don't even need to roll. As you look,
Okay.
you can see these guys are wearing the livery of the inn very clearly. They are there dealing with other horses. They come out clearly smelling of horse shit, but not talking it. And so it's clear that they are part of the establishment.
So we're walking in talking to Kestrel Strana.
Castrana.
That's the
So
one.
as you walk in, you find the inside of the inn has kind of got these lounging sofas in where if it were a tavern, there'd be like pub tables. This is a little bit classier. It's actually like when you go to a posh hotel and they have those big, nice long sofas with maybe glass tables in the entrance hall. This place has got reclining sofas, all in purple velvet, with hardwood tables made of glimmerwood itself, actually, in front of them. There is a marble stand that has, again, a glimmerwood top, the shimmering kind of greeny blue orange wood, that just has these striations and patterns running through it. And standing behind it is a quite a young. Well, it looks like a fox essentially, kind of this humanoid figure with a fox's head. Very different from the wild fox you had met a few days before. This has got quite a feminine seeming appearance for a fox, and it's got this lovely kind of rich red orange colour running down. Again, is wearing a sort of a tunic toga of almost perfect white that just has these yellow and green weaving patterns around the side, and you can see that this young looking fox is talking and to the other to some kind of workers in the inn, giving them instructions. And then as you approach, she turns and looks and says, "Oh my, aren't you a rather large party? So lovely to meet you. My name is Kestrana Hardwood. This is my inn."
Hello, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Seed and I'm a bard, human bard.
Oh, lovely. Well, what a odd way of putting it. Lovely to meet you all. I'm assuming you'll be wanting 6 rooms, and she, as she turns, she sort of, you see the hostler kind of waving from the side. There's and space for horses and a cart. Yes.
We might not need 6 rooms. You know, like maybe.
Yeah, brother and I
rooms.
can bunk up. It's okay. We're used to it. Maybe even the soldier might want to bunk with us. You know?
Okay, well,
maybe...
you decide. I mean, it is 1 gold a room per night.
Octavius cannot hide his poker face on that price.
She sees your look, Octavius, and says, "Well, yes, we are a reputable inn that you of course can find cheaper, but we are by no means the most expensive."
It's a lovely place. It's just I would not be able to stay here for very long.
Most people don't, hence
Yes.
the prices.
I have no idea how long we are staying here. How long are we staying?
I think we're staying for a night and then we're moving on probably.
We're just staying to restock. Brother, I've never stayed in somewhere as opulent as this.
No?
No.
Oh, in my travels, we were entertained by lots of different little towns and so on. Look, I'll show you how to do it. And he sits on lounges on one of the nearby sofas, pops his feet up. Come on, enjoy. While we're paying 1 gold for it, we might as well enjoy the whole experience.
6. You're meant to remove your shoes when you recline.
Oh, I thought that was what coloured the tables. Oh, my mistake. Sorry, there's such a lovely sheen. I thought it was mud. And he kicks off both of his boots and leans back. Boy, fetch me my tea. And you find out that he's looking at Ripper as he says it.
There is sort of an attendant who almost goes to move, and then Kestrana puts her hand on the attendant and says, "No tea until they've paid, I'm afraid."
Ripper's gonna walk over and go, excuse me, sir, like, here's your tea, and then punch him in the balls.
Make an attack roll.
Sure. No, I'm not talking like a bell tap, basically.
Brothers, what you gonna do?
I mean, does Ripper know his own strength?
It's a 15. It's not gonna hit, is it? Just clunk, clunk on the armor.
No, it doesn't hit.
As he goes to punch,
peace.
with a soldier's reflexes, Sixsmith just moves his knee and deflects the blow.
Oh, balls of steel!
I used to do that one to him a lot. Ripper, he's wise to it now.
Yeah.
Sorry about the rest of the party.
We've been travelling some time, and the last place we're at, it wasn't really what I would call hospitable. I don't mean any offence by the shoes. We would happily pay 1 gold, and I would love to appreciate your hospitality.
That's 1 gold
I say
per
it's a-
room. How many rooms would you like in total?
I could take a room by myself. I'll take a room by myself.
Okay.
I will.
Mother and I will share, at least.
And I'll put a gold piece down on the counter.
Okay. And that just leaves the 3 of you.
Seed's gonna sidle over to Faeza and say,
Would you mind maybe sharing a room? 1 gold seems like quite a lot of money.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, so that will be 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms then, I believe.
And one for
Octavius, do you
me.
wanna? Do you? All right, fine.
Yes,
Yes,
4
that's
rooms.
yeah,
That's 4 in total.
Oh right, yeah.
yes. So that's 4 gold, please. And so you pass over the gold, and she takes
I'll
it.
mark that off
I'll
on
pay for-
D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
I've taken a gold off of mine. Yeah.
Okay, and she just clinks a lovely little bell on her marble top, and some attendants run up, very clean looking, very professional, and they escort you to your rooms. Along the way, they tell you about some of the amenities in the town. They give you a little bit of boring history on the trading post that kind of, drifts past. Like any time you go to a nice place where they sort of try and upsell you on all the things you could do in the town, even though it's just a layover. You're not going to stay there forever.
Yeah, but
The
Faeza's
finest
paying-
bath
Faeza's
in
paying
town,
attention.
please. That's what I'd like to know. Your finest bath in the whole of this place.
I'd like to know the most nudist bath in this part of town.
You can't
Well-
get more nude than nude. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Carry on.
And one of them says, well, yes, the best place you would like to go is you need to just go to the bathhouse. It's got
Octavius
all the
is
baths.
like at the side, just.
I can't guarantee there will be nudity. Yes, there will. We are not prude about that sort of thing here
Oh, thank
in
God.
Chinella.
Cinderbane are.
Yeah, a bit weird down south. Bit weird. But up here we're perfectly normal. So enjoy your little stay. And they show you to your rooms. You all have, I mean, they're not luxurious. If anything, they are definitely a little bit overpriced, but they are clean. They are certainly spacious enough that you've got a private bed each. No dirty bunk beds here. Each of your bedrooms has a sink and a mirror, and has a trunk where you can store any belongings you wish. They pass you all an iron key for your rooms. Just to make you feel safe. You can lock up your room. You can either leave it at the desk, or you can keep hold of it. But we are not liable. If you lose a key, you will have to pay to replace it. They are a silver apiece.
Is there a little sort of leather-bound book on the desk, and you open it up, and it has all of the numbers in it and stuff, all the things, all the ravens to call? Is it one of those establishments?
You walk, and by this, well, you get to the side of the bed, and there is a piece of vellum there. Yes, and on the piece of vellum, it does say, "Welcome to the Golden Leaf Inn," and it does list a couple of things you can do in town. And there's a little bit there from Kestranus, standard, like, "This is my inn, welcome, we hope you have a lovely stay. If you mess with the rules, we will get the legion."
There's definitely like a leaf-shaped towel like on the bed.
Absolutely, there is.
If there's the better of 2 beds, 6 takes it straight away without question.
Both roll me a dex check, Lack and 6.
Well, Sean's gonna lose that.
Not necessarily. Dan might get a natural 1.
I got 11.
Dan's probably 1.
18.
So 6 moves towards. I mean, we're talking the difference between like a double and a king. So they're both big. But Lack just jumps onto the bed, which is very soft and downy.
Oh!
Are you going to take this one, brother? I thought you might take the other one instead.
Oh no, I want you to have the better one. If you think you have the better one, it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
have that one.
what? It doesn't matter
like
to
this
me,
one,
but
it's
I
a bit
think the one
soft,
that's
more
under you is
total.
probably the better one.
Is it?
Um,
Okay,
I
I'll
think
have this one.
so.
I'm here now, so it's fine. Thanks, though.
Yeah, it's okay. It's my pleasure to give it to you. Yeah, no worries.
Great. And
You're going to look
actually,
after the key, yeah?
I'll look after the
Okay,
key.
thank you.
Yeah. And I throw my spear, and it returns back to my hand, and I do it over and over again, like in The Great Escape, from my soft bed in front of my older brother.
What, into the wall?
Okay.
Just before it gets to the wall, it come back to my hand again.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
Be
Oh,
careful
it's
with
good,
that.
these things.
Be careful with that.
Have you not got one of these? These are great.
No, it's dangerous inside, I wouldn't do it
okay.
inside, be careful.
What's everyone else doing in their rooms?
Faeza's gonna try the bed out. It's probably, even if it was not particularly soft, will probably be one of the softest beds she's ever slept in. So she sort of almost is just can't deal with it. So she sort of has a look at Toots, has a look at the bed, gives Toots a little nod, and Toots jumps up onto the bed, and then Faeza rests against Toots and goes, "Oh, that's better. That's more comfortable."
Toots is loving how soft it is, by the way.
Yeah. He's curled her claws away, so just in case she tears it and rips it, she's being really gentle.
While we're in our room away from everyone else, Seed is going to kind of give you a look and then say, Faeza, could I ask you an awkward question?
Of course you can.
What exactly is a bath?
Ah, okay. You don't have these up north?
I mean, maybe by a different name. I'm not really sure what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I think I've not been to a house that's just for a bath before, so I understand that I'm not entirely sure. But the baths from where I live are made of tin, and they live outside, and then you bring them in and you put them in front of the fire, and then you fill them with water, and then you take your clothes off, and then you have a good scrub to get rid of all the dirt, and get clean, and then you get out, and then the next person gets in, and then they have a scrub, and then they get clean, and then basically whoever hasn't done their chores is the last one to get in.
Oh, so you mean like a tub? Okay, yes.
That's
No.
straight from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that one.
Okay, that sounds fine, except I didn't think, I don't know. I'm not really sure that I'm up for doing that in a room with everybody else. I mean...
Oh, I mean, this is it. I mean, I've never been to a house of baths before, so maybe there's separate rooms. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but maybe we could ask. They could describe it to us, because they seem to be quite chatty about the, the what would you call them? The servants of the inn. They seem very chatty about things and pieces, so maybe they could describe it to us.
Yes, we could find out. Maybe there'll just be just a nice little private tub somewhere. I don't think it's a very good idea.
No, maybe not. But hey, let's see. I mean, I mean, to be honest, I lived on my own with my centre, and I only saw the big tubs being used in the villages. So, but I've had it before where we're just able to get clean outside, and sometimes if you just ask people not to come in when you're in there, maybe that would work. I don't know. See what happens.
Okay.
But if you really want to, I could always cast prestidigitation, and you could just get clean that way.
Oh, that would be much better. Yes.
Okay, I'll do that then. Okay, and she does.
In a hotel, sometimes when you can hear just through the wall, just because these things are sometimes paper thin. Can I see if I can hear some of this conversation through the wall?
Roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Thump, whoosh, thump, whoosh, thump, whoosh, thump.
My good roll was a 19. I rolled a 6.
Nope. You can hear. So you can hear the sound of talking, but you can't actually make out any words.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
In some kind of like split screen montage, I feel like Ripper is going to be knocking at both Octavius and then on the other screen, Lack and Six's door in just his pants with the towel over his shoulder, flip flops on. He's already taken off all of his stuff, ready to go. Like,
where are you leaving your stuff? Are you leaving it all in the trunks?
I'm leaving it all in the trunk in my room.
Okay.
Locking it up, taking the key with me.
Octavius had literally just dropped his bag, locked the door, and gone off to the baths.
Oh, so he's already gone. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it.
That's so Octavius, man. That's so him, isn't it?
So just knocking for ages.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, let's go. And
Yeah.
I grab I'll take a small bag full of supplies and some weapons and a towel, but actually it's in a different establishment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to do a Ripper. I'm going to take everything with me, and I'll disrobe at the bath.
Okay. So we'll come back to Faeza and Seed in just a moment then to find out what they've done. But
Oh well,
as we-
actually, I did. Sorry, would have gone to the to Seed and Face's room and asked them if they wanted to come along as well, and they would have said,
Faeza, you are muted.
Sorry. Faze is gonna come to the bathhouse to see what it's all about, but she's happy that Seed's okay, and she'll probably leave the majority of her belongings with Seed in the trunk in her room, and then she won't strip off.
Okay. Is Toots coming with you to the place with lots of water?
I think so. Yeah, I think
Okay.
Toots will probably wait outside for her. Or
Okay.
something.
On
So
guard.
or if there's room inside, if there's a little like antechamber or something before you go in, Toots will probably wait in there. So
And to be clear, Steve said that they wanted to wait at the hotel,
yeah,
or are they going to come and check it out?
I think Seed will kind of diplomatically try and hang back and not make it a big thing that they're not going.
Okay.
So maybe kind of. So I think Seed will sit on their bed and have their drum out and be like very kind of studiously like checking it over, like there's really, really important work to be doing. Yeah, really in the middle of something, you know.
Make me a deception check, please, Seed.
Okay, that's an 8.
It's very clear to everyone that you don't seem very comfortable. It's obviously Faezer's already aware of this. It's whether Ripper decides to ignore it or not.
"Oh, definitely not." I think
Pull on
he's
that
going to be
thread.
like, "Look," and he's going to just walk through the door, and he's like, as I said, he's just in his pants, and like maybe those awful hotel flip flops that are just basically made out of fluff and one piece of cardboard, aren't they? And like, and he's like, honestly, see, this lovely, right? There's water everywhere. It's hot. There's lovely smells, oils. You get in, you rub your body, you get it all up in there.
What's
you get
happening? What's
you get
going on?
You get a scrig.
Is Seed
a
not coming?
strigil,
Seed's not coming to the bath?
You scrape
What's
it
wrong,
against
Seed? You
your
don't want to come to the
skin.
bath?
Do you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? I am very afraid of water. That is the problem. I am so afraid of water.
Oh.
It is very, very scary to me, and apparently this place has lots of water. You just said it has lots and lots of water. So no, I cannot possibly go to the bath with you. But it is okay.
I'm very sorry to hear
It
that.
is all okay because Faeza has just cast prestidigitation on me, so I don't smell anymore. Look, you can smell me, and I'm fine.
No, that's okay. You know,
Ripper's going straight in for a smell.
One day, one day I hope
Ripper, make a perception check.
maybe you can get over your feelings of water, because the bath is not just about water and washing. It's about atmosphere, tone. It's a chance to recalibrate the mind. It's a chance to think. It's much more than just washing. So maybe there's in the future you may be able to feel like you can come to a bath.
I got a dirty 20 on the smell check.
The first time you notice that Seed has no smell.
I was just going to say that.
Would you keep smelling though?
Like don't.
Like a dog, yeah.
Ripper has no concept of like social.
No, none. But like, it's fine. Like, you've got a family of like 8 brothers and sisters. This is what happens, isn't it?
Just go around sniffing each other.
I mean, like, you don't smell bad, so yeah, I guess it's working. Don't really smell of anything, really. Maybe that's a good thing, I guess.
Good job, Faeza. Good job on the prestidigitate. All right, Seed, we'll leave you to it.
I am.
All right, and
I think I'll hang back with Seed if that's okay. Maybe we could go and get some supplies while you're having a bath.
Oh, come on now. Who's going to stay next? Someone else going to stay, then we're all going to stay. No one go to the bath.
Brother, I'm
Come
a
on.
little worried. Our stuff gets stolen all the time, and we are carrying some important stuff.
I've
I
got everything
wouldn't want to
important I
see
need
go
right
missing.
here. And Ripper slaps himself on the butt and walks out the room.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
brother. Yeah, I just wanted to share some time with you. You know, the
I'd love
bath
to go
is...
to the baths, but there's things to be looked after, huh?
Yeah, of course. Okay. I'll go and get some some refreshment for the mind, and I'll leave you to it. You have a good time.
Well, maybe if Faeza didn't mind, she might be able to help you as well.
Who needs what?
Well, Lack has said that he is not going to go to the bath because he is going to help me look after all of our stuff. So, do you still need to be clean?
Lack, I don't know what she does with that hand, but I would stay away from it if I were you. It's very odd.
Okay.
I'm happy to. If you want to be a bit tidied up, I don't mind. If you.
Well, I was thinking I'd quite like to go to the maybe.
Were you going to go
Lack's
to the bath
unbelievably caught because he's carrying the shard, isn't he, in the lead box?
Brother, why don't I stay? You go to the bath.
Maybe
I'll
we
look
do a
after
swap.
her.
Maybe I'll go later. It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. You go.
We'll swap. I'll look after the shard. You go. Okay.
Sure. I'll keep
Okay.
Mother's ashes. She probably won't do very well in the baths.
Yeah, I thought she would float. No.
No.
Okay. You keep Mother's ashes. I think that's a good
We'll do a
idea.
swap, yeah?
You have a little talk.
Okay, so Lack and Seed remain behind. The others, you get to the baths walking down the main street. It's not far away. You walk up the steps, and as you walk into the entrance where you find people directing to changing rooms, there are several different changing rooms. There are kind of ones that are open for anybody. There are ones that
Ripping
are
straight in those ones.
open for people who would prefer sex or gender specific ones, or who would prefer cultural ones based on different kind of religious bents. So that it seems to be very welcoming and affirming to lots of different people. There are ones with assistance for people who might require assistance in getting changed or getting prepared, and you see all of them have kind of people coming in and out. As you're walking in, you see at the main reception, or in fact just in the mixed one, as you're looking in, as Ripper walks in, the first thing he notices Octavius, who is already by this point changed.
What you done?
I'd go as far as saying that Octavius is like in the corner part of one of the baths and is literally just like half asleep, just like laying in the water.
Which bath, Octavius? Because as everyone eventually gets changed, you are given instructions to head to one of 4 baths. You can go to the tepidarium, the coldarium, the frigidarium, or the sudatorium. They all do different things. The tepidarium is the warm bath, the coldarium is the hot bath, the frigidarium is the ice bath, and the sudatorium is the steam bath.
The steam bath, definitely.
Okay, so is anyone else heading towards the sudatorium?
I feel like I'd probably go to that one. You go for a steam first, and then you hit the cold, don't you? And then you get hit by some birch branches after that.
So as you come into the sudatorium, you absolutely see Octavius snoozing in the corner.
Oh, I'm going to scare him. How do I do that? Naked, completely naked. I'm going to just I see him snoozing in the corner.
I think Ripper could do absolutely anything and it would scare him.
I mean, it just happens. Octavius, how would you like to react?
Punch him in the balls.
Make an
What
attack
is it, this
roll.
session about ball punches?
What's going on?
I'm only
It's
doing it
called-
because Ripper did it last time.
It's called
Let's see what Ripper's
It's called the
armor class is
Krav
like.
Maga episode. That's what it's called.
Okay, it's the AC is lowered because he's not wearing any armor,
Yeah,
so the
I have
AC
no armor,
will
let
only
me
be
just-
10. So
It'll
what?
be 12. It'll be 12, Johnny.
Oh, is it 12? Have you got 2 decks?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you can't move fast in the bath because the floor's really slippery, so it's 10.
Is it at disadvantage because it's steamy and he can't see? He hasn't got good vision.
It would be disadvantage, but it's not going to be. So
You hear that? You hear that, internet, right? Johnny's changing the
20.
rules to affect me to help Bradley out.
To be fair, it'd be
I'm oppressed.
disadvantaged.
I'm oppressed in
It
this
would
campaign.
be, to be fair, it'd be disadvantaged for both, really, wouldn't it?
natural 20.
No.
And what's your strength score?
My strength is 0.
So it does 0 damage, but with an incredible speed. It just you go to do it as you kind of make this giant noise. Octavius just lashes out with military precision, and then you have this realization that in the last few hours, the two people you've attempted to assault are both trained soldiers.
Yeah, they're the most likely to have best bit of fun, rough and tumble with, you know.
Fine, Octavius, you have been woken from your restful slumber.
Ripper, I mean, come on. I was relaxing.
Oh, mate, I'm only kidding. And I sit next to him. Good shot, though. You hit me right in the todger.
I wasn't aiming there. You're just too tall.
Well, you know, I've heard that before. Oh, it's been so long since I've sat in one of these hot baths. Oh.
And the steam is up and curling, and it's not uncomfortably hot. It's not like a sweat lodge or anything, but it is relaxingly beautiful.
I feel like Six is one of those guys that's just the guy or girl in the steam bath that's incredibly like vocal. And then it's like one person's just too loud.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. He's loving it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
above the table question: are you going to role play tonight at all, or
as I said in session 0 and everything, there's always a piece of me in every
it's just
single one of the
today. It's
characters.
just 60% Ryan, 40% Ripper. That's all. Normally it's 50-50. A Six will definitely go into. He wants to get into there were lots of toriums and oratoriums and all that. I wasn't paying attention, but the one that is effectively like a sort of Japanese spa bath, just like a standard.
So there's
bath.
hot, cold, warm, or steam.
I think it would definitely be hot, and he'd go straight in.
So
into
as
hot.
you go in
Pissing
and
heat.
you dive into the hot bath, which is again a little bit more like a pool. It's got a deep end and then a shallow end that's got sort of almost like built-in stone seats. And as you dive into the bath, the first thing you notice is it's a caldarium. It's scalding hot. As you jump in, it's not just warm like a spring.
Yeah.
It is absolutely your skin.
Indian
turns
heat.
red.
Oh my God, I miss this. All you people complaining. Oh, but
Do you drop a couple of chilies in it?
you know what to make this tea lovely? A couple of chilies. How you doing, man? You okay? Yeah, okay. You okay? Yeah. And he just chills in the unbearable heat. He's loving
You can see a few other citizens sat there, including, there's a couple of Minotaur just sat back, their giant horns dripping steam, their fur just slick with sweat, and a couple of really red, quite large-looking men with just skin almost looking like beetroot coloured. And you can see a couple of friends laughing as one of them's like, no, I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine. It's great. I'm loving it. No, we don't need to move. And, the bars are fairly busy.
I think he'd point to the Minotaurs and go, hey, those things, amazing. Do they cool you down? Are they like a raw down? Do they help you in the heat? How do they work?
And this particularly large Minotaur, who's got this kind of grey and kind of umber dappled skin, looks and goes, "That's a very sensitive and offensive issue. Why is everyone always talking to me about my horns? There's more to me than just my horns,
Some of us have our horns on the inside, well, not on the inside, under our clothes, and other people have their horns outside of their clothes, Be proud of your horns.
Oh, I'm very proud. It's just
in
not the
here,
sort of thing
all
you ask
horns
a
are
stranger.
available to be seen. That's all.
I feel like Six is throwing shade there.
No, he loves it's all free. All horns are out today. All horns are out today, my friend. Don't worry.
Otherwise, we normally introduce each other before we start pointing out intimate private parts.
Do we need to rename this episode?
Just get up. Just get up and start talking about your dong. Just get up and start talking about it, mate.
He would be the sort of guy to stand up, and then you get that shot from between his legs as he talks, and he just talks about something casual, as if it's no thing. But really, he's making allusions to his grandeur in all departments.
Every time the camera pans round, it does the Austin Powers thing.
It's like a candle in the way, or whatever. Yeah.
And then someone's bringing a drink, and then someone yawns, and
That seems appropriately Six, especially now he's able to just have as a soldier as well, and he appreciates a moment of respite and enjoys it to its maximum. Knowing that it may not come ever again. Let alone, infrequently.
Well,
So
you
he's
managed to actually
fully-
get into a conversation with this Minotaur after seemingly offending him to begin with. And it turns out that he and his husband actually run a lace-making shop. And they craft fine lace for sale throughout the Chinelan Republic. He gives his name as Grindana. And you two just get chatting. And it's small talk, nothing particularly interesting.
I want to say to Octavius, I'm like, right, one thing maybe we can agree on, Octavius. After this, we go from here into the cold one for a plunge and then straight into the hot one, right? That's how we do it in theory. Is that how you do it here?
I mean, you kind of just do what you like here.
You don't have those, like, you know, the...
No, people just go in the baths that they want to go in. There's no, like, specific order. Why?
Cut to Faeza.
So Faeza, she has no idea where to go. She's not been in this sort of environment before, as described by Timbergrasp experience.
Cold.
Well, no, because she's you know, she lived quite a hermetic kind of hermit type life, and yeah, so she's coming in and she doesn't really know what to do. So she takes off some of her clothes, and then she sort of does that thing where she's trying to hold up the towel so no one sees anything, and then she sort of does not know where to look when everybody else is getting into the classes.
Not least of all her height.
Exactly. She has no idea where to look, so she decides.
As you're looking pretty lost, an attendant comes over to you, who is actually quite a short-looking fawn. They're about 4.5 feet tall, so they're still taller than you, but they are definitely not full kind of human or other humanoid size. And they come up and say, "Oh, you're looking a bit lost there. Are you all right? First time?"
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
right. It's all right. No need to be nervous.
Yes.
No, it's okay. They are also wearing like a reasonable amount of covering to kind of demonstrate that they work there. They say, "Don't worry, it's all right to be nervous. You can go in the bath however you like, as fully or a little clothed. It's completely up to you." So the frigidarium, it's the one you're looking at. That one's ice cold. What we normally do is like have a little dip in there to freshen up, and then go into the tepidarium. And then if that's the kind of the main relaxing bath, it's just nice and warm, scented oils and things. Then we've got the caldarium there. That's really hot. Oh, it's really hot, almost scalding, you'd say. Most people go in there to, really just soak away their muscle pain. And then the last one, the sudatorium, that's for steam. For those that just, obviously you just get a little old men doing business in there, pretending that they're younger and things. I would avoid that if you don't want to see some unsightly things.
I feel like at that moment, Ripper steps out of that room, completely nothing. Like, all right, Faeza, how's it going? Walks straight past her, dong flinging around, and then goes straight for the freezatorium for a plunge.
I'm going to reveal something about my family right now and say that use a word that you're all going to stare at in complete blank with me. And I'd assume as Ripper comes out, he's completely covered in crinkle puds.
I assume that's just wrinkles, right? Like
the wrinkles from a bath.
bath.
And your skin are called crinkle puds. That's what my grandmother used to call them.
They're definitely not.
I assume it's some Anglo-Indian word from Delhi or something. But someone let me know if you know. Or it might just be the ravings of an old woman.
Or what would they be called? What would anyone else? I don't even know what I would have called them.
Just bath wrinkles.
They're just wrinkles.
They're just bath wrinkles, or you've gone pruning.
No, I've always said pruning.
Crinkle puds. Pruning. We've learned a new word. You are covered in crinkle puds.
Yeah, I'm going straight for the plunge and then straight into the hot bath, and we'll play that out with 6 in a minute.
Cool. So Faeza, comes back to you.
So Faeza's going to go, okay. So she's not going to take everything off. She's just going to hold the shower, and she's going to, first of all, do the baths have little steps in them or anything?
You see that they have kind of steps down, and then they have like kid steps, and then they have a ramp as well.
Oh, that's good. The kid steps is good. So she's going to go in to the frigidarium first of all, and she's just going to step in, and I think she's just going to get up to her ankles and go, nope, and get back out, and then but then she's gonna.
Oh, come on in, it's fine. You gotta just plunge in here. You gotta get in, you get all it out of your system, and then you back out. I'm literally 3 seconds away from getting out of this. I'm 1 round away from getting out of this.
And then she's going to get, and she's suddenly going to start thinking about what, how is it cold? And then she's going to start trying to have a look with an artificer's eye about how it all works.
Make a intelligence check. I'm going to say you can add your proficiency bonus because this is to do specifically with mechanics.
Okay, so which one? Sorry, intelligence.
Intelligence plus your proficiency.
I got 14.
So as you look around, there are no instant pipes or anything clearly visible, but you kind of touch down and you see that in the bottom of the pool, which as Ripper is kind of at the other end of it now, this end is starting, the waves are becoming a little bit easier to see through. You can see these big, almost metal grids at the bottom, and you'd guess it's something to do with that. Maybe they're being cooled by magic or some other device. With that roll, you're not sure, but you sense that it's something to do with these elements in the water.
Well, she's gone, okay, well, that's quite clever. Right. So, and then she's going to move on as instructed to the next one, which is a tepidarium. And I think she's actually going to go again to the kid steps, go in a bit and go, this is all right. This is okay. And then she's going to go a little bit further in and go, right, that's fine. That's okay. And then she said, well, I've been in here now. Next one. Gets back out.
Oh, no. That's not how you bathe according to Six. Six is going to have some choice
words. Yeah, but she's been told an order. She's got to go do it. So then she goes to the coldarium.
I think at this point, you hear... Can you roll a perception check for me, please?
Excuse me?
So he's putting out rolls at the table. What's the house roll?
It's like the fourth time I've done it.
I know.
And every single time.
I want to know if you can hear my...
Ripper gets an exception.
I want to know Johnny, if
you can hear my footsteps running past you as I am ice cold from the freezerarium or whatever it was
Pristine,
called.
Don't do it. No, you don't.
I'm not going
to the and then getting swiftly into the coldarium to try and
What you do notice, Faeza, is that you see Ripper doing this, and whilst you've grown accustomed to Ripper's ebullience, let's say, the citizens of this town are looking aghast.
Some definite pruning going on there.
Social pruning, perhaps.
Fair enough. So
you come into the coldarium and see now Ripper floating and Six deep in conversation with this mottled Minotaur.
Okay. So then she's going to find the kid steps again, and then she's going to put a few steps, go up to her ankles in that and go, nope, step back out again, and go right, and then have a look, think about how this works as well.
Faeza, what are you doing? Where have you been? What are you doing right now?
I'm bathing, thank you. And then she'll just have a little start. She'll literally drop her glasses off, put her goggles on, and then she'll go back to the tepidarium and jump in there.
Okay, and it is beautifully warm in there. It's that perfect bath temperature that's just warm enough that you always feel warm, but so that you never feel hot. And you notice some people just floating, some people sat around the sides having conversations. In fact, can you just make me a perception check? 15. So as you're floating there, after your initial wondering how do they keep this one warm? And you look down again and you see again these elements under the water and you assume it's something to do with that. You see, or your attention is drawn to 3... I don't want to say grotesque, but 3 spherical men who are perched at the steps. They have got towels covering them. They've got quite large drinks in their hands. One of them has a little umbrella in it, and they seem to be deep in discussion. They are talking just loud enough that it's definitely too loud. At first you think it's Ripper, but then you sort of go, hang on a minute, and you realise that they are talking politics. And whilst you're not particularly versed in Channelan politics at all, you do hear them talking, and you hear one of them, who's bald and has got quite a large moustache, you see him leaning forward and saying, "Don't be stupid, Silver. It's because of what happened in the north. That's why they've moved to town. It's a good thing we can profit from this." And you see one with grey hair, who you would assume to be Silver, saying, No, this is all wrong. We haven't changed the Legion here in 40 years. Having a different Legion in the town is absolute madness. Things are all going to go to pots. And they're just deep in this discussion.
Okay. I don't know if anything particularly distracts her about that. I think she might go a bit closer though, because I don't know, they're near the edge, that's near any of these tubes or these pipes or anything like that that's keeping the temperature down.
You'd see again the grates are almost at the bottom. Imagine like a skylight. Yeah. Imagine the inverse of that under the water.
Okay, fair enough.
There are about 3 or 4 of them laying around. These guys are fairly close to one, but they are sort of sat in the steps.
Okay, so she's going to come a little bit closer and go, good afternoon, hello, how are you?
Oh, hello there. My name's Garden. This is Silver. And Silver goes, hello, yes. And that's Mirabis. The one who's just lying there with his eyes closed looks up and goes, and closes his eyes again. Is it?
Nice to meet you. I'm Faeza.
Oh, so nice to meet you. What brings you to our fine town?
Well, we're travelling through at the moment, actually, but we thought we'd stop, have a little bit of a rest.
I don't blame you. I've got to come. Lovely bathhouse. You've got to have a little rest on the road. It can get awfully wearying.
Yeah, I've never been in a bathhouse before. This is lovely. Yeah, I think it's very nice. Thank you. Do you come here often?
Every day. Yes, every day. More's the pity.
Oh,
yes, we come. We talk. No. We live in the town. Yes, but we're just merchants actually.
Oh, okay. What do you sell?
Well, I'm actually a Glimmerwood trader myself.
Oh.
And Silver there, I can answer. Silver kind of butts in and runs his hand through his thinning hair and says, yes, well, actually, although he calls me Silver for this, and he points at his hair, goes, my name is actually Silver as well. That's my surname. My family trade in precious metals, and the nickname stuck.
Oh, okay. And she nods towards Mirabis. Or is he?
Mirabis just looks up, gives a little smile, and just says, stocks.
Stonks.
And he goes, livestock, Mirabis. He trades in livestock. He's always pretending that he's one of these big traders, but ignore him. He's a silly old bugger.
That's, livestock.
Ooh, Faeza's just frozen for me.
That's good. Very good. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
When it comes, good. When it says your connection is unstable.
The tepid heat got to you. That's what it was.
It probably was a bit.
Tepid heat.
The tepid heat got to you.
She's just gonna when Mirabis when they say about livestock, she's just like, oh, livestock's very important. Oh yes, very important. As is Glimmerwood. Glimmerwood's very interesting. I was gifted a small little cube once. I'm still wondering what to use it for. I don't really know much about it, so I've sort of studied it. What sort of things do you know? Do you make the stuff out of the Glimmerwood, or do you just trade it?
Well, I'm not really into the making business. I just trade it off to the biggest buyer. All sorts of things, various magical properties. It's all above my head, really. All I know is you cut the bloody stuff down and sell it, you'll make a killing.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you know someone that might know a bit more about it that maybe I could talk to a bit? Or
you can see Silver goes to answer, and then Garden kind of kicks in and goes, no one around here like that. So he goes, yes, there are some traders who work with it, but they are a little expensive. They tend not to come through the towns too often. Oh, mostly you will find people like that up in Shademantle or in Elderspire.
Oh, I see. Well, that's convenient. That's convenient. Because we're going to Shademantle. So yes, yeah.
Are you? His eyes kind of narrow in interest. Says, what business have you got in Shademantle?
Oh, we're on a bit of a mission.
You traders?
Oh no! I wish gosh, yes, that's very important. But no, there's some illness, we're going to consult a medical expert while we're there, just to try and get some advice.
Not that bloody plague that people are talking about in down south.
Oh yes. It's a bit of a problem. So yeah, we've stepped up to try and help out. So.
My God, I hadn't realised it was coming this far north.
Oh no, I don't know if it's. I mean, Cinderbane was all I know about, but I don't know these things. People travel, things travel, but yes, that's all we're doing.
Ah, jolly good show. Must try the drinks. They're wonderful here, you know.
Okay.
Sort of signals to someone who just brings him another fruity drink.
That's fair enough. As you see a lot of travellers that come through. I have been. Although this mission isn't looking at, I have been looking for somebody, and I wondered if maybe he might have passed through. His name is Mycenter, and he's an artificer, a human artificer. Has a long cape. I don't know if you would have seen him at all, or met him, or.
Mycenter, you say? Never heard of the chap. I think she said Mycenter. No, I've never heard of him. Mirabis? Mirabis again just sits up.
Okay. I just thought, because you mentioned about the travellers and the I hope you don't mind that I overheard about the Legion, having different legions in town. I hope that's not causing any bother.
You heard that, did you? Oh
Yeah.
God, absolutely bloody shocking. They've evacuated the Hydra. They've been relocated.
Well, is the Hydra a Legion?
Yes. Third Legion. They're no longer in town. Unbelievable.
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, it is a little bit shocking that they would. It's not the sort of thing they normally done. You say, I can see you're not from around here. Normally, a legion is assigned to each part. There are 9 parts of the kingdom and 9 legions. You see, the math sort of does itself. So actually, changing a legion's home base is very unusual. But one of the legions, yes, I'm telling the story, Silver. Shush now. There's been this big battle up at Ithor Vale, you see, right up by the border. And those bloody savages, yes, I don't call them that. The Newman Guardians, the bloody savages, tried to invade us. And our valiant boys in the 8th, they fought them off.
Oh, blimey, that sounds terrible. So was that the third Legion? Was that the Hydras up there?
No, we had the Hydras.
Oh,
the 8th, that's the Lion Legion, you see. Yes.
Oh,
no.
I see.
Yes, they've wanted their commander, very young chap, just took over recently. It's won a great victory and they're being rewarded.
Oh, great. Oh, marvellous.
Yes, given them this entire region, withdrawn them from the front.
Oh, wow. Is that sounds unusual, like you say, you know.
Based in Shademantle now. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll see them. What's his name? Do you know?
Oh, I don't really do that military sort of nonsense. As you kind of turn to Silver, who seems to be the more knowledgeable of the two. Silver looks and goes, sorry, I'm not really particularly interested in military matters. Mirabis? And he looks up and goes, no.
Okay.
Surely
fine.
the soldier in our group should be party of this conversation.
He would be if he were in the Tepidarium. He's asleep in the Sudatorium.
Yeah. What's that weird pigeon? I don't understand.
Go get that bloody thing out of here. They're always trying to come in and nest in the
He's
rafters.
stealing it from some really small time stream.
Okay. Fair enough.
Among other things that have been stolen on the stream. Lovingly innovated.
Righto. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, you too. Yes.
Yeah.
It was lovely to meet you there, Faeza. Happy hunting on your travels.
Thanks very
And they
much.
instantly ignore you the moment that you kind of half turn away and are back to just discussing trade.
That's fine. And Faye's perfectly happy with that. She drops her goggles down and then she sticks her head in the water so she can see these new vents and stuff. So she can just have a little proper look at those.
Okay. Make me a perception check with advantage.
I don't know how I'd feel if I was in a bath and someone put goggles on and tried to look underwater. Just saying.
I'd probably turn my back on them and then I'm looking down. So you behave yourself.
Faze is a freak, mate. Faze is a freak.
See,
The
stop
bath
talking.
water.
What am I doing? Perception was that?
Yeah.
So you said with advantage, isn't it? So that's
Yeah.
good because that was terrible. 16.
So as he's 16, you see these vents that are, they look like clear glass. And as you're wearing your goggles, you can sort of see that there seems to be almost like a stream of water that is underneath the glass rushing through. And from the kind of different viscosity and rate of travel, you would, with your artificer's knowledge, get some sense that they're probably pumping heated water through the baths, and there must be something about the material of the bottom of the bath that adjusts the temperature.
Cool. She's quite happy just studying it and looking at it for a little while. She's just gonna have a little soak and a little peek.
Okay, I'm going to
Jesus.
pause there
Yep.
and jump back
No,
to
you know what I mean. It's only start.
jump back to the Golden Leaf Inn to our two guests there.
Black pops his head out the window, watches everyone sort of head to the baths, and as soon as he sees them out of sight, he turns around, he grabs Seed's hand, and says, "Come on, let's go."
Wait, what? Where are we going?
And he runs out the door, locks the door behind you. That everyone's a thief around here.
No, wait, I thought that was the point. Aren't we supposed to be guarding
We're
the
taking it
things?
with us. We're going shopping. I know you like shopping.
We're going shopping?
Come on.
I think I finally figured out what Dan's little bit him he puts in his characters. It's grabbing someone's hand and running off.
That's it. That's all I do every day. Come on, Seed. Lock the doors, because everyone's a thief in Janella. Everyone.
Everybody?
That's what I found. That's all I found.
That's
Everybody's a
very
thief.
scary.
I wouldn't. Six would have something to say about that if he heard it. It's not very neighbourly of you, brother, he would say.
Going on experience, and the stereotyping is the way forward. So come on. You run down the stairs.
Like, I don't think that can possibly be correct. We've met lots of people in Chanella and nobody's stolen anything apart from the people who stole the donkeys.
That's the only thing we have. So the
Steve,
one thing we
can
have
you make a
is stolen.
perception check, please?
Oh dear. That is an 18.
You absolutely, as you're saying this on the street, sees a little boy pickpocketing someone and then running off down the street. Don't you know?
see it? You see?
Oh no. Oh dear.
We had our thing. We had our donkey stolen. There was that fawn that ran across, being chased by the guards because he was a thief. They were shouting "thief, thief!" We walked through the whole place. People tried to thieve us. I had to kill one of them in cold blood. We went to that place in the inn, and there were all thieves there trying to do us over. And then we have to haggle for stuff, and people overprice everything. So I
No.
don't trust the Janellans.
I don't think that's right. I think everybody's, in the majority of cases, been really very nice, apart from the few who haven't been, which I will acknowledge. But there are not very nice people in lots of places.
That is true.
And very nice people. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to be very careful. It'll all be fine.
Okay, let's go shopping. And he goes, let's go. So I'd like to search. I'd like to have a look around. I want to try. Lack has an idea to try and buy a gift for everyone while we're here.
Okay.
in the trading town.
Make me an investigation check, please.
It is not my highest skill.
And yet, sadly, the appropriate one for this check.
That's a total of 10.
10 is enough. It takes you a little bit of time, but there's much faffing going on in the bathhouse, so time you are not short of. As you travel around, you find a few small markets and a few kind of boutique stores and things, but you soon get the sense that the things that are happening are really happening in the trading post. And so you eventually head to the big ornate building. It's got a front with tons of pillars and intricate carvings, and then names outside carved into the front plates. And as you look down the names, you are kind of surprised to see that they all seem to be traders' names with an amount of money next to them. And as you kind of stop a passerby and say, what the hell is this? One of them just says, yeah, this is the biggest sales of the year. Always go up, see, slot for each year. Bit of competition in it. And just walks off.
Very good.
As you go into the trading house, it's suddenly like walking into a giant, how can I put this? This is going to be a really London-centric thing. You know when you're little and you go to the indoor bit of the Camden Market by the lock where it's got the 3 floors. And you walk in and it's just like these ramshackle stalls. And so it's essentially like a 4-story building internally that's just got this open staircase leading up, and each floor is just covered in stalls and vendors. You can see that the very, very top floor looks a little bit more ornate and seems to have guards posted, but all the others, it's essentially a 3-tier market.
10-year-olds letting off stink bombs in the corner.
There are very clearly legionnaires who are also
letting
there
off
in the
stink bombs in the
familiar
corner.
uniform. What you would notice is, you might, with your passive perception, you'd both notice this, that the legion's insignias have changed for the first time since you've been in Chanella, that you've noticed. These all have lions on their shields.
Okay. Seed, I have not had much luck with buying things here. I think I don't really understand how it works here yet. You seem to pick up people better, so maybe you could take the lead on shopping. I'd like to find a mug for Faeza.
Oh,
I'd like to find a chain that you can attach to a sword or an axe for my brother.
Okay.
I'd like to find a really nice leather necklace with a gem in it or stone that matches Ripper's cloak.
That's
And
a
for
lovely
Octavius,
idea.
I'd like to find a really nice beer.
Okay. We can do that, I think. There's lots and lots of stalls here. I'm sure we're going to find all of those things.
I don't
Okay.
have that much money, but I think we can do it.
Okay.
Both of you make me an investigation check. Let's see how this scouring of the mall goes.
Ooh, 17.
It's not bizarre,
Thanks,
it's very normal.
Christine. That was your D20.
The 16 for me.
Okay, yeah, you have a pretty successful trip. You managed to find all of those things for about under $1. And they, again, whilst the town itself seems to be quite rich, you get the sense that there's a bargain to be had everywhere. And between the two of you, the traders here are a little bit more open to actually haggling. This seems a little bit more familiar to you, Lak. And you find all these things are beautifully handcrafted. You find a necklace that is sort of gold and silver interlinked with this purple and blue opal in it. You manage to find this. You've noticed that Seed had like one particular mug. This one is almost the complete opposite. It's very Chanellan. It's terracotta. It's got glass beads around it. It has stylized pictures of some of the iconography you've seen around Chanella. So it's, again, you would notice a lot of it to be of the gods, but it's in the Chanellan style rather than the style that you've seen on Faeza's. It's actually really wonderful. You get it for so cheap because it's a child's mug. And so they don't realise that it's actually the perfect Faeza side, and it's got 2 handles, one on either side, which you figure is kind of handy for if one side breaks or something, then there's a backup handle. You struggle to find a large chain, but you do manage to find quite a nice ornate chain. It's made of brass, but it seems pretty sturdy, and it's got about a 3-foot reach.
Okay.
So you think, that's something to be started with. And you manage to end up at the craft beer stall with that guy who's behind every craft beer stall.
Absolutely. And I'm going to buy like a pack of 6, and I'm also going to try and find some Indiri spices, but like the anglicized Indiri spices. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah, there is a Indiri spice mix.
Spice.
Yeah,
Authentic Odiri
Yeah.
Indiri spice.
And as you smell it, you realise that it's mostly just pepper. But there's hints of very stale and dried Indiri herbs in there. There's entirely too much cumin in there. Entirely too much. You've got to be really delicate with cumin, and they've just gone for it.
Listen, my friend, I'll do you a favor. You want to get up on the top of that board there? I'll show you. And I'll take his spices and I'll mix them a bit. Like take all the cumin, just throw it over my shoulder. That, you don't even need that.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck. It's good.
All
It's
of
good
it,
for
good
you.
luck. Just out.
I sprinkle a tiny little bit of chili in, and I go, have a sniff of that.
And he sniffs it, and he's got quite a long beard. He's got a bit of a belly as well. He's got his hair pulled up in a bun, and he's got tiny spectacles. And he's sniffing it, going, "Oh yeah, really hoppy. Yeah, really. Yeah. Oh, I can sense the almost like floral notes and like those deep spice." And just takes it in. Oh yeah, gives it that wonderful kind of silky smooth tongue feel, but you get a bit bitter at the back.
That's exactly right. And if you call it the Heaven's Promise, you can have that for free. You can have that mix for free.
Heaven's Promise, I like that. Yeah, Heaven's Promise.
I tell you
and
what.
You see him.
Why don't you mix
stuff
up
out
6
on
of
his board.
those? Make up 6 of those for me, along with the other 6, and that'll be great. We'll call that a deal.
Yeah, I can do that for you. So he gives you an extra 6. Your other 6 you've got is a mixed pack of 6 that has wonderfully pretentious names, like River Redberry and
Badger's Tail,
Pale Neglect, and things like that. That you just
Dragon's Tear.
Yeah.
Archduke's Revenge.
So for
Moan
less
the
than a
Ghost.
gold, you managed to actually get a pretty good amount of stuff. And as you're kind of wandering back, feeling glutted,
There's
with
one
your
more thing
sale.
I need to buy, Seed.
Okay, what do you need to find?
Let's find a music shop.
Oh, yes, please.
So I'd like to go to a music shop.
Okay.
Please.
You spend a bit of time searching. I'll go off with your blast rolls, and you realise there's no specific music shop, but there is a slightly larger than all the others general trade stall that has a couple of workers working at it, and does seem to have some instruments at the back.
Is there a drum for Seed?
Instantly, you see there aren't any drums there.
Okay. Are there 6 instruments there?
There are 4 instruments.
Hey, my friend, I'll buy all your stock.
And then this figure turns around, who has got long blonde hair, piercing green eyes, quite eccentric makeup, very rouged cheeks, and
Oh gosh, that's quite a look.
quite a low cut tunic as well. And just turns around and goes, "Hello, my name's Branderi. How can I be of assistance?"
Hello, Branderi. I'd like to buy all your instruments.
Oh, cheeky. All my instruments. So, let me look around. So here we've got a penny whistle. And she picks up this little brass penny whistle, places it on the counter. She turns around and says, we've got a mini harp. And she pulls out like a hand harp that's kind of closer to like a klimbala or something. Puts that down. She says, and we've also got, it's a bit big. And she pulls out, and it goes, "Ooh, just joking. It's a ukulele." Puts down a ukulele. And
I know
then,
someone that would be very good for.
she goes, and finally, and takes out a very delicate looking thing. And you see, it's in a box. It's made of terracotta, just a little ocarina. She goes, and an ocarina there. And she puts it down and goes, right, so for the lot, that'll be, call it 4 silver.
Great. Could you possibly, do you have like some strings, but for the ukulele, but much bigger?
Many strings, my dear. I've got as many strings as you'd like.
Can I have 12 of those, maybe 16, and I'd like some, you must have some wood that you've been making stuff with. In fact, you know what? Don't worry, I got an even better idea. Can I have the strings, like some, what do they call those things? The pegs at the top. Can I have some pegs?
I've got to be honest, we're not really much of a musical store. We've only got the little bits you can see right now. But, you come back in a few days.
We're just passing through. I'll take these. This is fine.
That's
Thank
a
you very much.
shame.
No, that's very great of you. Thank you.
Come back any time.
Thanks. It's very kind. Hey, you know this this makeup you have on you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any of that?
Oh, of course, dearie. Yeah, I've got as much as you'd like.
Okay. Can I have lots of colors?
yeah, of course. And she reaches in and she pulls out a small, well, kind of fairly large, like
Fenty
like
size pack.
yeah, I'd say like a Cadbury's bar size box that's filled with, yeah, a total color palette of quite garish looking colors.
Oh, these are wonderful. Thank you. What do you think, Seed?
I think the colours are amazing.
Well, I'm a bit sad I didn't get to get you a drum, so I'm going to buy you a scarf. And he puts down 4 silver pieces. Thank you so much. I do not actually know the makeup. Surely that's more, and the strings. Here's 6. Thank you.
Oh, yes, that'll cover it. Thank you very much.
Thanks very
And
much.
takes it.
And 1 more scarf. Seed, why don't you come with me? Talk to me. Tell me what kind of scarf you would like.
What, in your opinion, is the most human of all of the scarves?
Oh, well, I can't talk for all humans, but I like yellow. I'm not sure. We should go with your hair. So what color would be good with your hair? Red or blue? Maybe a bit of both. I don't know.
I suppose I don't really wear a lot of colours. Maybe I should wear more.
I think so.
Okay. I am up for finding a scarf with lots of colours on it.
And now we go to basically cut to Lack doing Queer Eye for the straight guy with Seed.
It's just called Queer Eye now.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, we've moved on, but I'm back in series 1. So, and we just
Before
go.
it was cool. Before
You
it was
absolutely do find like a shop as well with quite an exuberant owner who flounces around in several scarves of their own, and is absolutely got that perfect. I feel very seen right now.
I have seen you flounce in a few scarves.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. Hats and scarves, I love them. I own several neckerchiefs, and I have no shame. And so they are the right level of kind of hands-on sale assistant, but not being too like. I think I can definitely help with this. And they kind of come back and see. You end up with again quite a lovely. It's sort of like a deep blue at the sides, almost lightening up with an ombre to like a lighter blue. That's the beer you've got. The lighter blue, and then these kind of almost imagine like peacock feather eyes, but in shades of vermilion in the middle.
I think that is
scarf.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's wonderful.
You look beautiful, Seed.
Oh,
Hey,
thank
what a
you.
great shopping trip. We should go
Wait.
show ever. Oh,
We're not finished. You need
Okay.
to have a present too.
I have many presents. It's fine. I have you.
No, I need to find you a present.
Okay.
I have an idea for something.
Seed would like to head back to the jewellery stand where we found Ripper's gift.
Yeah. Okay, so you get there, and the quite elderly gentleman is behind the counter.
And what Seed is looking for is, do they have basically Seed's looking for bracelets specifically. Do they have a selection of bracelets?
Bangles, bracelets, canathas, they've got everything.
Seed is looking for 8 and looking for the most yellow.
There are 2 sets. Well, roll me an investigation check just to see which ones you see.
Okay.
This is absolutely kind of like
Okay.
corner jewelry store style layout where things are just sort of mishmash laid out.
The investigation checks are 10. So
Okay.
I've got my fingers
So
crossed for this
with
one.
10, you see 2 sets. You see one that is quite discreet, goldish, we could call it, and the other are. They look like something that the stereotype of a 90s Italian mafia don's wife would wear. They
Like
are.
in Friends when he gets him in his buddy bracelet.
That's exactly. It's buddy bracelet level bling.
So gauche. I love it.
Okay, yeah. Seed is going to be very drawn to the bling because it looks like it's the best, right? Like,
It
it's
certainly looks.
yeah,
For the uninitiated, like it's the...
absolutely. So Seed is gonna kind of immediately be very, very drawn to the most gauche, but is basically going to be looking for getting that and getting a selection of bracelets.
Okay. So as you have a little rummage around, you also notice that there are some cloth bracelets themselves that are a little bit more delicately woven, and they seem to be woven in a pattern that you recognise as being quite common north of the border. And they aren't necessarily yellow, but there are golden strands woven in among black and silver.
Okay, so Seed is going to pick out 7 kind of the sort of familiar style that Seed knows, and then select the biggest, shiniest one as a kind of crowning part of this selection, and hold them up to the vendor and say, "How much for these?"
Oh, all of that. 7 copper. 7 copper. Let's call it that.
Okay, so Seed will hand over the money and then kind of turn around to Lack, hold out the bracelets, and say,
I know that you were feeling a bit self-conscious about your arms, and I don't want you to feel that way about your arms, so I thought maybe you would like to decorate them like humans do, and then they'll look beautiful and you don't need to feel self-conscious about them anymore.
Oh, that's so very kind of you. Thank you. And he takes some really he's not quite sure about it because he's only got 2 arms, and so he puts 4 on each one. The real bling one goes on his right, the opposite of the turquoise one which he's got under his wrappings. And it really jingles. It's like he's worried it's going to put him off his balance.
It does look a little bit like something Del Boy would wear.
Yeah. Oh, see, this is beautiful.
I can represent.
I'm sure when the arms come, I can put them on. That's
No
great.
problem.
Thank you.
I wasn't
so
quite
much.
sure when they would come out and when they wouldn't
Neither
come
am
out.
I,
But
to
I
be
thought,
honest.
you know what?
Still
You
learning.
can be prepared.
Always be prepared. That's what my mother said. If you're prepared, and he looks around for 6 and he's not there. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Always be prepared, never be scared.
I like
Does
that
that
one.
work?
We'll go with that.
And at this point, as we are in the midst of our reveries, I'm going to call a break time, and we'll say that we will see you back soon, folks. It's time to grab a cup of tea, go to the loo. We'll see you in a minute. Hello and welcome back. So, prior to the break, we found our party split into very relaxing, in fact, probably the most relaxed they've been since this whole adventure started. We've got to put a stop to that.
I'll be honest with you, you've made me want to go out and do the one thing I can't do, which is go and bathe with a load of other people. I miss the public bath more than anything now. You've done that to me.
Good.
Your fault.
You're welcome. So we have just, I'm going to cut back away from our successful shopping trip to the baths. What's happening? Are you all still in your separate baths? Have you managed to find your way together?
I think Faeza's out and she's getting dressed and getting her stuff back with Toots. I think probably by this point, but she's faffing. she's not being in a hurry.
I feel like Ripper's he's walked back into the change room, put his pants on because that's all he came in there wearing. He's got the towel around his shoulders. Oh, really love that, I did. Ain't nothing like, good old bath is there.
Octavius is definitely just like, he's just fallen straight asleep. He's just like zoned out.
Should we, what, as in like still in the steam room?
Yeah, still in the steam room. And it's like unhealthy now.
Do you reckon one of us should go get him? Nah, I'm gonna leave him there. He's fine. He came there by himself. He don't need no help.
Faeza doesn't know where he is. She's got no idea.
Well, I guess.
Six will say goodbye to his new friends, make a note of where their lace shop is, and then walk to, and then attend the steam room with Octavius, but not say anything. He may have struck up conversation, but he's chatted out, and also he's seen Ripper exit fairly recently and knows that Octavius could probably appreciate a bit of quiet time. So he'll go there and they'll have like some time together, bonding by not saying anything to each other at all.
I mean, Octavius is just flat out asleep.
Yeah, I think Six assumes that they're having, one of those silent conversations that men sometimes do when they're
You
slightly
can't
awkward.
quite see his eyes are closed because of the
But
steam.
really, he's completely asleep. Yeah.
Roll for snore.
It doesn't need to roll for store. It's Sneamy. It will open the sinuses.
It's true. It's very true.
Okay, so you're all standing around in the reception, or are you guys going anywhere?
Faeza, I'm heading back. Are you come with?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna walk back in my pants and my tiny flip flops. No shame.
It's fine. You managed to.
It's
Glistening,
all right.
glistening, probably glistening.
Six
Like
would have
oil
joined
or
by
Face's,
that
something.
point, I
Face's
think.
probably got a little bit for you, so don't worry, like a little bit of we're taking it on. Just sort of wondering.
Six
what
has joined, I think, by this point, and he's going.
Well,
I noticed you were having a lot of time you've spent outside of the bath. Didn't get in the hot bath. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Everybody enjoys the bath their own way. Did you have a good conversation? You must have been having a good conversation with somebody.
Oh yes. And she tells him about the three merchants that she met, gold and silver, and what was the other one? Not marimba. That's an instrument.
Randa.
Mirror.
No,
Innocent.
Mirabis.
There
Thank you
you
very
go.
much.
Mirabus.
Yeah, and she says, she tells them, oh yeah, they were quite upset about a legion changing. Apparently, that's very unusual. Octavius isn't with us anymore, is he? He's still in the bath, isn't he?
It's still in the bath, yeah.
Ah, sure, okay. But yes, apparently there was a legion, the Hydras, and they've gone, and there's a new legion called the Lions, and they're now here because they won a big battle up north, and then they come down. So she, she's not that fussed because she doesn't feel the same degree. She sort of says they seemed worried, but they seem to be discussing it. But I'll just
Okay.
leave it at that.
Sometimes bathhouses are good places for gossip, and sometimes good places for information. Maybe I'll
yeah.
run it by Octavius when we all meet up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then she starts to maybe tell them about the pipes. Well, you'll never believe. Do you know how they keep the temperature? Maybe I don't know if you guys listen or if you actually.
I'm sort of
Face
like,
out.
yeah, I'm listening, but I'm not really paying attention.
Both
Fair
of you, Ripper and Six, can you make an intelligence check to see if you can actually keep up with
Yeah,
Face's
definitely.
ramblings?
I am interested in it because any chance to learn something new is great.
I've got a 7.
Oh no, you don't need to make it. It's the other two.
Oh,
need
I
to
thought you
make
said
it.
But-
those two. Sorry.
no.
He rolled a
Six and
3, so despite how excited he is to learn, he doesn't. I assume he doesn't learn a thing with a 3.
What did you get, Ripper?
I rolled a 15. This ain't his first time playing with pipes in a bathhouse. Let's just say that.
So disgusting. That
was perfect though. It would be disgusting if it wasn't so perfect.
I mean, agreed. But it is. You are just on fire for quotes tonight, right?
Thank you very much.
Is it a good thing? I guess. So, among Faeza's excited chattering about the mechanics of the bathhouse, Ripper, you keep up enough to realise that you're not really that interested in it. Six is trying to keep up, and for the first little bit, you're with her, but then it gets very technical, and you're a soldier. Just big words. So you guys managed to get back to the inn, and you, at this point, if Lack and Seed are coming back, or are you guys going anywhere else after your shopping?
So, should we head back to the inn? Were you wanting to go and take a bath still?
I'm okay without a bath. I've had far more fun here. But maybe we take a circuitous route back home. And you can tell me a little bit about your performances. I like your music. And I'm really interested in it. I play an instrument too. Back from Indiri. I don't have it with me. And that's why I bought the strings. I'm hoping Faeza might be able to make me one.
Oh, that's so exciting. What kind of instrument is it?
He takes the ukulele out. He's like, it's a little bit like this, but bigger and better.
Oh, I
Basically.
like bigger and better.
I know. Who doesn't?
That's very exciting.
Yep, I don't.
So,
Not there.
so let's talk to me. Tell me about your music. How does it? It's very different from Indiri music. I like it. Very heavy on the beat, which is similar to Indiri, but very driven.
Well, you see, I was given a drum to start with because I was traveling with a bard. He plays lots and lots of instruments. But you see, when we first met, I couldn't play any instruments at all, and he realised it might look a little bit odd if we were travelling together all the time and I didn't really do anything, with his act. So he said, did I want to learn? And he said that this would be the easiest thing to start on because I couldn't go out of tune. And as far as I know, I haven't ever gone out of tune. But then you see, I would listen to him and he would sing and play and do all these wonderful things. And over time, I learned how to copy some of the things that he was doing. And so I started to sing sometimes too. And yes, I suppose that's really where it comes from. But
I love your songs.
Thank
It's
you.
very interesting because in Indiri, the drummers are the most important because they are the ones that drive the music that everyone sticks around to. Without the drum, there is no center, huh? And we have a way of passing down, and it's all very rhythmic. We have our talking drums, and we tidagada doi, tidagada doi. And it's what drives us all, and everything else is the cosmos around it, but it's the beating heart, and I love your beating heart in that.
Well, that's the amazing thing, you see, is when I was learning, he told me something very interesting. Apparently, the reason why humans, like me, enjoy the sound of certain drum beats so much is because we're bipedal, and we have a heartbeat that goes bum bum, bum bum. So you have a 3 and a 2. And so if you play your drums to go on the 3 and the 2 and mix it up, then it's actually like playing the rhythm of being a human.
I like that. And you do that so well. I wonder what would happen if I ran on all my arms and legs. What would that drum beat be, huh? We'll
That
try
would
out
be
next time.
Fascinating. We should definitely work out what that drum beat is.
Be so cool. Anyway, look, we've arrived. That went very quickly. Thanks, Seed.
That's okay. Thank you very much for taking me shopping.
Oh, no, it was my pleasure.
So as you get to the desk, you see Castrana is still there saying, yes, your friends are upstairs at the moment. They've arrived not long ago. Well, most of them. You seem to be missing one. As you head up, you see everyone minus Octavius.
Did you bring Octavius back?
Talking to all of us, or I'm upstairs in my room probably.
So have you all split up into your own rooms, or are you sat chatting, or?
I mean, I assume one of the attendants woke me up by now.
Yeah,
you
we'd
want to be
probably
woken up?
Ripper and Six would have muscled into Faeza's room to have a drink and a
Yes,
chat and a chill out.
Octavius. You can have been woken
Faeza-
up by an attendant.
Faeza would definitely have started making tea for people.
Ripper's still in his.
Have you got your own mug? Have you got your own mug? Okay, yes, you can come and have some tea. Yeah, of course, come on.
Seed, they're all in your room. Play us some entrance music.
Okay, I'm going to try and work out what the sound of you running on all your arms and legs is.
So yeah, Sue's gonna give you a good entrance rhythm going, big dramatic.
You know that gif
beat.
of those Indian guys entering to a wedding?
Yeah.
That's what he's coming in as. He's got all the
Love it.
shopping in his hands. Just the 2. Not that would be weird.
8 hands. all the
And
shop.
just holding all the shop. That'd be so helpful.
Oh, that'd be so good. Wouldn't
So
it?
Really useful. Really useful. Next time we go shopping for significant things, we're
What a
bringing-
I'm going
waste.
to become a monk.
That's the fan art. That's the fan art of just like Lack in the background holding 8 arms of phasers and seeds.
with like a
shopping.
sticky chicken poking out of one of the hands. Yeah.
Just stuck to the face at this point.
Hey everyone. How were the bars?
Hey, we're having some tea. I don't know what Faeza's put in the tea, but it's it's very lively. It's made us all feel very relaxed and lively at the same time. Herbal, I believe it is. Have some.
We've got some presents for you. Faeza, it's good that you're drinking tea. Look what I found. He takes out his little cup.
She looks at it, her eyes go, that manga heart-shaped thing. It's got two handles.
I thought
She just
you could
sort of,
grip it tighter. Huh?
is it...
Brad, give us the anime eyes, quick.
And she just sort of takes it really carefully, and then she starts looking at it, and she just looks up, and the manga eyes have gone that big, like really big. Thank you.
It's okay. You love your
then-
cups.
Well,
Ripper, I got you this. I think it matches your cloak.
Oh, I think Ripper's gonna like. Oh, of course. Yeah, he's gonna just.
He puts it on for him. Puts it on for him. That's how we go around.
How do I look?
You look great. Really good.
Thank
I
you
like the
very much.
vacuuming of the tummy when you were doing that. That's good.
Thank you very much.
Brother, I got you, and he hands the brass chain. Now you can throw your weapon, and it'll come back.
Oh, yes. No, I'd gone off that idea, but it's very kind of you. Yeah. Very sweet. I shall put it onto my weapon, and then I throw it, and it comes back.
That's right.
Yeah, very thoughtful. Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, it's a very nice thing you've done. Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Anytime. Where's Octavius?
At this point, Octavius, I say you have been woken up. You can choose to make your way back if you would like.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
On the way back,
hey!
Can you before you get there?
Yeah.
Can you make me a perception check?
I can indeed. That is a 27.
You notice
everything.
Anti-Brad.
You notice the legions in the streets,
and he goes fucking stiff as a log, and he just like tries to move through the streets back to the inn as inconspicuous as possible.
Make a stealth check.
Yeah. +8.
Oh, there he is.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
As far as you are aware, you're a little bit panicky. But as far as you can tell, you stealthily make your way back. You're more used to fields and the outside and nature and being, in the wilderness. You're not too comfortable in towns, and you are suddenly very shaken, and it shows. But you don't think you've been seen?
I make my way swiftly back to the inn.
Oh, where's Octavia? Oh, there you are.
Oh, hi.
Perfect timing. I bought you this beer, and I even made one specially for you.
Thank you. I will try it.
Why don't you drink one while we're all having tea? And I have a very good idea. So,
Okay.
I've realized we're quite a obvious bunch of people walking through towns, traveling on the road. And I thought maybe, just maybe, we ought to have a reason to be traveling together. And then Seed gave me a great idea when she got up at that tavern, and everyone was accepting of a musician. And I thought,
we could be a
why don't we
traveling
become
bar.
a traveling band.
Have a band. Yeah, that's
Not a
also
bar.
good.
No, that's a good
We
idea.
all go around.
We got the
one
beer.
person.
We got the
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
You're a mixologist. But I thought traveling band. What do you think? And he hands like the ukulele to Faeza. Look, it's like a guitar on you.
My goodness.
Hands a penny whistle to Ryan, to Ripper. Yeah, Ripper. I know you like. It's fine. It's big. It looked big in your hands. You can have
I've
that.
already got a horn.
Oh, okay, that's
in-
great.
Back
Octavius,
in
you
my
could play
pack.
you could play the tin whistle. You'd be very good at that.
Sure. Right.
You know what? I could play the chain with this useless chain. I mean, this helpful
It's
chain.
not useless. It's brass.
I could do two things with it.
I had two other things. What other
Octavius
instruments did I have?
Gives it a quick blow to try and play
Oh,
music.
God, it's like a
Make
kid
me
learning the
a
recorder.
performance check.
That is a 4.
Yes.
It is like a kid learning.
He plays the opening to Executive Decision.
Yeah.
Throwback. What were the other 2 instruments, Johnny?
It was an ocarina.
Ocarina. Brother. And he hands
Not
an
another
ocarina.
chain, is it?
No, it's an ocarina. It's a very delicate, beautiful instrument.
Oh, I actually know how to play the ocarina. How did you know?
I'm your brother?
Does he? We just right in his. I didn't see ocarina in his instrument.
He thinks he knows how to play the ocarina.
That's
An
right.
ocarina is one of the likeliest instruments. He assumes that it's like, I assume it's the equivalent, the Erionwel equivalent of the harmonica. You could play it off in the wilderness while your team are getting ready for some skirmish.
Sure.
It
Well, let's
seems like
make a performance check. You don't add your proficiency because you're not proficient yet.
He got a 6.
And,
He assumes he can play ocarina.
It sounds very good with Octavius. They sound really good.
could Ripper be going back to his room,
I mean,
getting his horn and coming back?
Yes, as long as he doesn't make any jokes about it. Yes.
Octavius goes to hand it back.
Yeah.
No. What's the other instrument I've got?
It was a hand horn. It was like a hand harp. Hand harp.
Well, maybe. Or do you know what? Actually,
All the arms.
keep
Maybe
practicing. Keep
The
practicing.
harp is pretty good.
Faeza, I'd really like at some point to be able to sit down and talk to you about something I'd like you to make for me. I think you'll be, if I draw the plan out, but not now. Anyway, we're a band. I think we should sleep on it.
I'd like to come back in playing the horn and rolling.
Make a performance check.
Oh, please roll a 1.
I rolled a 15, and my performance is a +6. So I come back in playing like the opening to LA Noir. Like,
I was going to go, you come in like Miles Davis, but sure, LA Noir, we can certainly punch that low.
Thing of LA Noir is gorgeous.
You know what?
Clarinet sound coming out.
Here
of it,
is something for
basically.
literally probably just Dan and I in the entire audience. You come in sounding like the Buddy Bolden bands.
That's a quote. Look it
That
up
is a
on Google,
deep
everyone.
cut.
But Buddy Bolden.
Buddy Bolden was actually with the progenitor of jazz. There is not a single record of his remaining. They were all destroyed. Some say because he was black, and it was the early 1900s, and America was surprisingly racist. Who knew?
What?
And then
They're
white
not,
artists.
They're not now though, so that's fine. They
Let's
got
hope
rid of
not.
all of that, didn't they?
And then white artists basically recorded his records and got famous for it, and that was sort of like ragtime and early jazz. But Buddy Bolden is allegedly, according to urban legend, the inventor of jazz.
Yeah, that seems like appropriate for Ripper.
So I've written that down in my D&D notes, so I'm going to accidentally think that's something to do with this session.
Specifically, Arian.
So we met
It's
Buddy
canon
Bolden.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody Beholden.
It was the
Bloody
lace
Beholden,
seller,
the warrior
right?
in jazz,
hang
the
on.
jazz poet.
You can tell it's the music
Beholder.
teacher.
Bloody
That's what-
Beholden, the jazz
Can we,
Beholder,
warrior.
inventor of jazz.
Buddy Beholden. That is
Really?
absolutely an NPC I need to make.
He's like the only good beholder out there.
Right.
can we see?
Can we cut this out somehow of the live stream so I can?
Can we see how good Faeza is with the
Yeah,
ukulele?
make a performance
There we go.
check.
Okay, this is not going to go well. She's not got any. 18.
Actually,
That's all right.
do you know, it's not suddenly that you sit down and become Van Halen, but
damn it.
it's that you
When I'm
play.
cleaning windows. Oh, that's a great.
Does a banjolele. It's the wrong instrument. But you carry it.
Although
Nice.
he does actually
Nice.
play a ukulele
Does
as well.
actually
But
play
it's
ukulele.
banjolele on the live
Cleaning
videos,
windows.
and
There
not
you
on the
go.
recording.
Just saying.
That weirdly, I've actually just done a whole host of videos about the origin of the blues and the equivalent things in England at the time. That's a whole other thing. We'll go into it another time. You start to pick out kind of the beginnings of quite a nice melody. That it's still, as none of you minus Seed and Ripper actually have proficiency.
Incorrect.
And
Incorrect.
Lack, who currently does not have his instrument. But the 3 new performers currently lack proficiency. You've made your first steps. What I will say is, over the course of your adventure, as you don't need to always say, I am practicing tonight. But we can say in the evenings you can start teaching each other bits of it.
She's going to annoy all the neighbours with
I've got
practicing
my
the
10
tin whistle.
whistles.
and
I've
the
got my
ocarina.
10 whistle sound.
Is it?
Oh, I can't do it.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh,
this
I
is
can't
great
do it. That's
podcast
so
content.
Stage fright.
Nice.
You've got stage fright. Don't
Cut
worry.
it,
Don't
cut
worry.
it. We'll edit it.
Oh,
It's
no,
fine.
one more try, one more try, one more try,
One more try. Go on,
one more
Brad.
try.
Go on.
I'm smiling now, so. No, I can't do it.
The whole episode is worth it for that.
I know.
Just for that.
I can do a tiny elephant sound, but I can't.
Right.
Has anyone seen Soul?
Yes.
No,
it's Disney.
I want to.
The opening of Soul is what we sound like currently.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But with time, you can all gain proficiency in your new instruments.
I'm gonna say Faeza's seeing it as a bit of a mathematical thing at the moment. So she's going, okay, so that goes from here to here, blah 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 blah. Then that's kind of where she's at the moment. it's just that logical,
That's just sitting down.
Technical side,
engineering,
Everyone's enjoying.
technical brain going, okay.
So I quite like this idea, Lax. So you're saying that we are a band, or we're pretending to be a band, or we
Well, we
use
could
the
be
band
both,
as,
right?
like,
At the moment, we're-
overt-
I don't mean to be rude because I've been practicing for a long time, so I'm quite good at the ocarina. But I don't think that any of us are really good enough yet to be a band per se.
What
But as a
is-
cover, it's very smart.
What is good? Huh?
Well, maybe
Exactly.
Ripper should take
I
this
mean,
because he was
what's-
so good at the whole lie and joke
I
thing
mean,
earlier
what's
on. What
the-
is good?
What's
In
the
musical
name of our
context,
band,
Ripper.
though?
Well, I guess we have to have a think about what we call our band.
Right.
Yeah, we'll sleep on it.
Got to
and
sound
maybe,
good, you know?
Something will come to us.
Ripper and the Funky Bunch.
Okay, we're just gonna sleep on it and think about it.
Sixsmith and the Rollers.
Okay, we're
Not
just
because we
gonna
roll.
think about it.
Octavius and the Octaves.
Scarily, that's the
don't-
best one so
I
far.
don't think he's much of a front man, That's the thing about Octavius.
Yes, please.
Or more of
don't
a
put me up
bassist,
front.
You could say Octavius is one of life's natural bass players.
Yeah, totally.
We've just lost 3 followers apparently when that happened. So
Wow.
turns
was
out
our- that
bass
was
players
our-
like
That was our fan base.
Get out. Get out.
And they're back.
Get
And they're
out.
that's a
back.
cake fine.
Oh, that's shocking. That has killed it, Ryan. Well done.
I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go sleep on that
Right,
one.
the stream's over.
Rui's
Everyone
going
go
to
home.
bed.
Right, so you are in there playing your instruments. At this point, it's about 6, 7 p.m. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Anyone else hungry?
Need some food. I'll take one of these beers down with me and try.
So as you head
Honestly,
down, you see
Try the Heaven's
that,
Promise is the nicest.
you see that the entrance to the bar, Castrana there points you towards a separate side where they've actually got a little bit of the closest you've seen to a restaurant. Yes, again, it is outside. It's a little bit chilly, but it has got like an awning over it, and they've got these chimney stacks of bricks that have a heating each area. So again, you find a little area that's covered in kind of leaves and vines with a lovely table, and they bring you food out after a little bit of time. It's a set menu, so there's not much choice. And again, it's fairly similar to the last place that you ate in that it's a mix of like hearty homemade breads and cheeses. However, there's a little bit showier here, so you actually get things that are dangerously close to quite fancy pasta dishes like ravioli. I say that as an Italian, like the fancy ravioli, not the cheap shits.
Oh
The
man,
ones where
fancy
you get,
ravioli
like-
though. Yeah.
The ones
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get like
yeah. It'll
3 on a
change your
plate.
mind about what
Yeah, the ones that are
ravioli
actually
is.
like that big and
Yeah.
full.
Yeah, or as I called them growing up, ravioli. Yeah, like just sprinkling of like wonderful cheese on. Octavius, you kind of go to put your hand up, and the owner says, I hope you don't mind. They're all actually vegetarian tonight. And then there's just all these wonderful like side salads there. Again, you see that wine tends to be the common drink in Chinella, but if anyone wants to ask for beer, they are brought some. The quality is reasonable. Again, you're not looking at artisan ales in Chinella. It's mostly wine country.
Octavius like tries his beer and he's like, "Yep, it's good. It's a good present. Thank you."
The Heaven's Promise.
Put
I
off
like it.
forever by the
It's-
chili in the last
It's
episode.
it's the korma. It's the korma of Indian spiced beers. You're okay.
I see.
Can I just
It's
say, can I
very
just have
nice.
I think that just before everybody went down, Six would have said, hold on, don't drink the beers without me, which seems appropriate because Octavius wouldn't really give a shit anyway. Don't start the beers without me, I've just got to go do something first. So just while they assemble, I think Six just pops off to his room very quietly and quickly,
Okay.
just before he comes down for dinner. He'd like to attach the chain onto his axe, onto one of his axes for throwing. And just before he goes down, he has almost like an afterthought, and he goes and he pats the urn that he's got back from Lack recently with his mother's ashes in it. And he says something like, just quietly, he goes, look what Lack made for me. He got this for me. You would really like him as a man. He's very sensitive and thoughtful, just as you always told me he would be. Anyway, I have to go now. Watch over us, Mother. And he just comes down to the dinner to hopefully catch Octavius just drinking his beer.
Okay, so Six, you can now make a note that your throwing axe has a 3-foot chain attached to it.
Oh, nice one.
So yes, you come down to dinner, you are seated a tiny bit behind the others, and this feast comes out, and as you start eating, the place fills up quite quickly. There is a large amount of guests in tonight. It seems it's packed, and luckily the tables are spaced far enough away that you're not getting like bumped elbows or anything. You're quite private, but if you choose to listen to the conversations around you, you can, or you can converse among yourselves.
So I feel like Ripper would want to just make sure we know what the team's bearings are for the next couple of days.
Before that, I think we should toast. I think you're right. Normally, Octavius, myself, we're also serious. We've got to figure out what we're doing. But now we've got these lovely ales. Okay, Octavius has already tucked into his. That's okay. It's his present, you know. But maybe we should all cheers and take stock of where we've come from. This is a nice place to rest. And I don't know about all of you, but I've not had a rest in some time, you know, not a proper one. You know, I'm not normally one for words. I don't normally like to speak. But maybe somebody else could say something. I don't know. I'm just here to drink. What do you think?
Seed, Octavius?
He just wants to drop someone in it. But he wants a moment, but he can't be bothered. He doesn't want to do it himself.
To a safe journey.
Seed?
Okay. Well, actually, there is something that I've been wanting to say for a little while, which was to say how absolutely wonderful it's been to have found a party like yourselves to travel with. I know that the road ahead is very scary, and we don't truly know where we're going in the end, but I, for one, am very, very glad that I get to travel that road with you all.
And Seed raises their glass and then surreptitiously will try and pour it in their pouch.
Make a sleight of hand check. I will say
You've got the straw, remember?
Yes,
you can
I
have
could use the straw.
advantage. You can have advantage because of the straw.
Yes. Ugh, it's a good job I had the advantage. 13?
Anyone, again, passive perception, you can choose to notice, or you can decide that you were too busy in your dinner. At this point, I think most people have probably noticed Seed doing this at some point. So it's up to you whether you continue to ignore it or not.
Bix wouldn't do anything. He's too busy trying to get cheers out of people.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for that, guys. You know, both lovely, short and sweet. I feel that, you know, we're all on a journey, much like a tapestry, has many pathways, has many strings, has many pieces that ultimately interweave to create one beautiful thing for people to look at. And I think that we are strings in the tapestry of life, guided by our gods. Faeza, you have Ondra, and I have Illyria. Lack, you have your faith from your monastery. Seed, you have the music that guides us. Octavius, you have your strands are strong and hold the Foundation, grateful from the army that's given you, and 6, your strands are laden from your mother that you're following. And I think that we are all creating this beautiful piece of work together. And I want to see one day when I'm old, what amazing tapestry we create together.
What wonderful music that was. See, we can be a band after all, I think. And Six raises his glass.
Well said.
Okay, so as you guys are having this
Octavius,
lovely speech,
classic.
can you guys just make me a perception check, please?
Aye. Oh, for
I made a
Christ's
passive
sake.
perception check and I noted something in
Can I-
Faeza's screen going on.
Can I use my passive
Someone with the
perception?
best beard I've ever seen just came in. Like, I wanted to know what he was doing during November.
That's my brother-in-law.
I mean-
Sorry. He brought my charger. It's a massive cake phone. Massive
Hey, the
mug.
beard
Fine, don't
was
worry about it.
glorious. It made up for it.
Sister's
Anyone
downstairs
listening?
and she's not replying.
was- that
but
was
it's
the
all right,
beard.
everybody. It's
You promised
plugged
us
in.
an Eddie
It's very
Izzard
good.
sketch. So, you know,
So,
death by cake. So that's fine.
anyway,
So
What are we
those
doing,
perception
John?
checks?
Perception.
Perception checks.
I got a
6.
10. That was
It's for
too
everybody,
busy.
yeah.
12.
5.
23.
I
Oh,
got
23. You were just doing that.
I'm trying to work out which way you could see the 2 than the 3.
Oh, it really confused me. Okay.
17.
I rolled a 5, so 12 again.
Okay, right. So I think we've all heard various conversations. Anyone who'd got over a 12, you hear off to the right of you 2 travellers who are sat there who are wearing much plainer robes. Kind of quick glance over, because they've been quite noisy and boisterous, reveals that you probably assume that this is like a luxury stay for them. They've really gone all out in their night in Timbergrasp. And they in fact appear to kind of almost be farmers, really, wearing kind of similar garb to the hamlet that you'd been in the few nights about a week ago. And you hear them just shouting at each other, "No, I'm telling you, I saw it. You did not. Look, you saw what? It was just a hole in the ground. I'm telling you, it was a footstep. No creature has feet like 8 feet wide, right? You are talking nonsense. I'm telling you, it was a puddle. Come on." Anyone who rolled over 18, a little bit behind them, obscured obviously by this quite loud thing, your ears tune into the fact that you hear very urbane voices, as 2 ladies with the most wonderful curled tresses rolling down their right shoulder, wearing these glorious purple robes with gold bangles. In fact, one of them even seems to be wearing a circlet of silver, are sat talking, and they're speaking fairly quietly, so only those people with those high rolls heard it. And one of them says, "Well, yes, the assassination is awful news. But, you know, it just means that Shade Mantle can finally vote in a new representative. I was sick of Oran, for one." And the other seems to reply, "Well, yes, I know, but foreigners assassinating a senator of the inner circle. This isn't done. You know there'll be a clampdown." "Well, yes, I know, but our papers are in order, and if we throw our weight behind the right candidate, who knows? Perhaps we, too, could rise up. We could even end up in the outer circle one day." And that seems to be the only kind of snatch you can hear before their drinks are brought to them. So that was only anyone over an 18 who got that, sorry.
Rather, I don't. In fact, everyone. I think I heard a conversation. Did anyone else hear about an assassination? Has anyone heard about an assassination? We're traveling to Shade
No,
Mantle,
but
right?
do you think this would link into the conversation, Faeza, you were talking about? You had a conversation in the baths about the Legion.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know if Octavius has heard any of this yet, so I'll fill him in about.
I have not. I've seen that the
no.
Lion Legion is around here, which is unusual.
So I tell him about the Hydra Legion being evacuated and the Lion Legion being brought down from the north. because their commander won a big victory, so was rewarded by being moved.
Their commander? They picked a new one then.
I don't know. The people I talked to, they didn't know the name.
Oh, I see. Did they say if the commander was here?
I don't know. I think he came with his legion.
Right.
If you were to boil the defining characteristics of the Lion Legion down, Octavius, how would you define them for us over the other legions?
Frontline combat focused. They held the border for quite a while during our current Cold War climate. The fact that they're down here means the Cold War is at a truce? No, because you've just said there was a big battle. I'm very confused.
Octavius, what legion were you part of?
I was part of the Lion.
Oh. Well then, must be your mates then here, right? Surely there's someone in this town that you know. Maybe we can have like an old reunion, couple of drinks with them, maybe tell them some old stories, like...
Six just tries to distract Ripper.
Very much depends who we meet. And we would be very unwelcome depending on who it was. Well, I would be.
Well, why's that? I thought you were all like buddies, you know? Frontline, Lions forever, give us a roar.
And I suppose you're buddy with every muscly sod that comes into Chanella then.
Yeah, or a bathhouse.
It probably is, to be fair.
Yeah, it's true. That was a silly comparison.
Octavius, I'm going to be as delicate and as forthright as I can. We will support you. Of course, you are one of our important band members. However, we may need to know something about the Lion Legion and your connection to it if we are to stand by you during any altercation. While we all finish our drinks, maybe you could tell us a little bit about it.
My mother was the legate of the Lion Legion. And she died not that long ago due to what I will say is politics. For the same reason I left the Legion. And I worry about what that politics has done to the Legion in her absence.
Was she
Potentially my brother is still part of the Legion, but I do not know. I fell out of contact with him quite a long time ago. He
May I ask what your brother's name is?
troubled. He is Gaius Aquila.
And
He
is
is.
he like above you, below you?
He was in competition with me, and I was not with him, if that makes sense.
Oh,
You do not
and I
seem
give
like
him
the
a punch on
competitive
the
type,
shoulder.
Octavius,
Yes, mate.
yeah.
Are you
Yes,
the
mate.
older brother by any chance, Octavius?
I am, yes.
I see.
Oh, of course. I know those.
But he, due to my mother's upbringing, she was quite distant, militant. He did not turn out well. You know how I am. Imagine someone like me, but without any sort of thinking.
Any of your pep or joie de vivre?
Well, no.
Any of your general excitement that you have
Yeah.
about life?
He's more excitable than I am. He also does not think things through quite as much as I do when I last met him.
I quite like the sound of this guy.
No, by consequence, though, he does not think of others when he does things.
I quite like this guy.
I'm just going to be forthright from a soldier to soldier. He didn't kill your mother, did he?
No. She was... God. I suppose I must say it then. So...
I top up his drink.
Yeah, have a bit more beer.
So, I don't know which politician, but a politician pushed for her to go on what was essentially a suicide mission. And duty bade her not to refuse. She couldn't refuse.
I understand.
Yes, so she and the rest of her squad did not return. I thought it unusual that a legate would be called upon in the first place. And now, I'm really just tried to get away from it all, you know what I mean?
Octavius, I am so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
I wonder whether it sounds...
There was about that time that I inherited her spirit. It's a family thing.
You mean your bird?
That's right, yes.
And as he says that, like it bursts out of nowhere like a small flame and just settles on his shoulder, kind of nuzzling at its fiery wing.
He flinches.
That's your mum, bruv.
I don't know.
Why are you always so mean to it if it's your mum?
Where is the final resting place of your mother, Octavius? Do you know?
It would be in the capital city. There is a dedicated cemetery for legionnaires.
To your mother, Octavius, if I may.
Thank you.
The meal takes a suddenly somber tone, and then there is like a little bit of a commotion at the door, and as you look round the open doorway, there is a legionnaire standing there. He looks to be quite a junior officer, fairly young, barely got any fuzz on his face, and just bangs his pilum down into the floor, and everyone kind of looks around, and he says, "Attention! By order of the new legate of this region, any travellers or foreigners not from Chinella must declare themselves in Shademantle within 2 weeks or equal big cities. Everyone must be carrying a pass of travel. If you are not, you will be arrested. This is the new law from the new legate. Please comply."
Can
And
I
he leaves.
Ask him who the new legate is?
Probably best not to interfere.
That'd be you lot then. I'm okay.
What do they mean by a pass of travel?
So, Octavius, you would know that essentially this is something that you kind of, you heard your grandparents talking about maybe, that occasionally foreign travellers in the country would need a reason to be here, either a sponsor from a noble house who says they are under my command or under my banner, or that they would have to be legitimate merchants or something like that.
So I'm going out on a limb here. Is this something that's done during a time of war?
You would know it's definitely something done at a time not necessarily of war, but of deep distrust and I'm going to use a horrific term, the Game of Thrones, but when politics gets real. And then you suddenly remember that Lack had mentioned an assassination earlier.
This feels like a very good time for a band to be travelling on the road.
Yeah, maybe they should travel all the way out of Chinella and not be part of all of this scary nonsense. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't feel comfortable where foreigners aren't trusted.
Yeah, we will need a name for our band very soon then, as the passes will require an organisation.
Oh, we got 2 weeks, as the matey boy said, so we've got plenty of time. Don't worry about that.
Well, as our musical style develops over the next 2 weeks, maybe a name will come out of that. I'll go on the ocarina. You guys can follow me. It'll be fine.
I think it's going to be a problem if they can tell the time from Nurmjengard. I mean, isn't that going to be...
Seed, I think it's more obvious that my brother and Ripper and I are from Indiri than it is that you're from Normangard.
Okay. If there's just been a battle, I don't know.
It's okay, Seed. We're all together, and no one will be looking at you when you're stood next to Ripper.
Okay,
Plus,
I'm going to stand next to Ripper. That's fine.
It means a lot to have a Chinellan citizen vouching for you, which I will do.
That's true. We have it. Thank you, Octavius. That means a lot.
Do you have to pass some kind of and obviously I think Ripper's pretty drunk at this point. You have to pass some kind of Chinellan citizenship test, like say a bunch of monarchs or something,
I
and like
genuinely
sing a
think
national
that
anthem.
Johnny
and
should
like,
give us a Chinellan citizenship test, and we should go and try and learn it and come back and see if we can pass or fail.
I mean, don't test me because I have enough to give you one.
Don't do it.
I mean, you wouldn't be allowed citizenship. You've done nothing for the Republic, but you can certainly see what the
there's
paper is like.
Yeah, you have to even work to get citizenship if you live in Chinella.
I love it. Let's see if we can game the system. See if we can cheat the system. My friend just got his UK citizenship and he's telling me about the process. Yeah, it's a ridiculous and fascinating one.
Yeah, there's Sean thinking, oh yeah, I bet Johnny hasn't thought that deep. Johnny has thought that deep and has that shit prepared. Yeah.
Johnny's also an excellent liar on the surface.
Six is going like, yeah, citizenship test. Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Be citizens. No one will question us. No need for this band stuff. Nonsense.
Okay, so by this time the hour's drawing pretty late. Your dinner is coming. This kind of disturbance happened just after the dessert courses, which is some very delicate pastries, all of which have fruit in them, and
pastry I can deal with, by the way. Pastry with fruit, I'm all right with that.
I mean that.
It's just a different form of bread.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the thing, and but they are delicious nonetheless. And kind of dinner is drawing to a close.
I feel like Ripper's probably not gonna. He's just sitting and having a drink. He's still drinking. He's at the hotel bar. He's got his key on the side.
Octavius kips early. Kips early in. Kips in early.
Faeza's very worried about the civil, the sort of civil clampdown that seems to be happening. So she's just gonna go upstairs, I think, and probably start practicing the uke.
Okay, so you can get in an hour or two before falling asleep.
Yeah.
Toots is there tooting along and making artificial harmonies that sound really nice. They're always in thirds or octaves, so it's got this wonderful dreamlike quality. Occasional sixths in there.
feel like Ripper's cruising.
Yeah, Sid, this is a worrying thing. I've never been abroad at all, and this is a strange time. But we've all got our presents now, and we're a band. So we'll stick together, and if we have to fight an army, we fight an army.
Muted.
You're muted, but it seems appropriate.
Gone so quiet. You're so quiet.
You're so scared.
I can't hear you. So scared. It's okay.
I don't think that I could fight an army.
I
don't need to. My brother, he'll be fine. We have Ripper and Octavius, and my brother. We'll be okay. We're the brains.
And Faeza
we're
also.
The brawn.
Not the other one though. He's rubbish.
Okay, I know it's really silly, but I'm just very worried what will happen if they say I have to go back to Nurmengard.
I promise, and he looks her right in the eyes, I promise no one will ever make you do something you don't want to do. I will die before that. And then he gets up and walks off.
No, wait, no, I don't want you to die.
He's gone.
So as we fade to black on Ripper, who is being Ripper this evening, just roll me a general charisma check. Let's just see how successful
my cruising is.
Because your cruising is sort of like you're gathering intel as well. That's what a courtesan would do. It's
yeah,
like you're gathering intel from all of the places
if I'm
that
being
are...
totally honest,
yeah.
he's probably trying to figure out which one of those two women Lack talked about is also at the bar. I got a 19 for charisma.
Okay, so I would say that you managed to hang around in the bar long enough to overhear a little bit more of other people talking, and certainly those women seem to have been joined by some more of their friends, and they seem to be discussing the assassination of Senator Orrin that recently happened in Elderspire. He was one of the inner circle, which at the moment doesn't make any sense to you. and it's a big deal. It now essentially that they are now talking about who is going to take his place for Shade Mantle in Elderspire, and that one candidate has seems to be declaring themselves any day, and they all seem to say, "Oh, that's an obvious one," but they don't say any names, and they seem to be gossiping about that. They have no idea who else might run against this other candidate.
Okay. Fair enough. I think he's gonna.
That's better than any bone. Intel.
It's still a lead, isn't it? Some kind of lead. Yeah, it's just sort of picking up. He'll maybe stay in the bar if anyone wants to chat to him, but I don't think he's so just like after taking the hot bath, he's feeling really good. Like he doesn't want to just sleep yet. He just wants to sort of be in this presence of mind.
So we're going to fade to black with him in the bar, and what happens in the bar stays in the bar. Or not, but that's...
yeah, that's up to Ripper.
What happens in the bar goes back up to the room.
I have a sincere thought that this might be one of the last times. Six thinks genuinely, being a man of several skirmishes, that this may be the last time that there is a genuine moment of respite. So, does he know, by the way, has he seen a fox person before? I'm just trying to figure out, like, is this the sort of thing? Are they fairly common in Erionwel? What's their sort of... Would you have encountered
seen them
as sort of
more in Chanella. You've kind of seen the odd one in Chanella. You've not had a chance to meet any yet, but, different folk from all over the world.
I think I'd like, without taking up any time, I'd like to see if there's like a quiet little cutaway where he can just sort of like, just charm the Kestrelana, what's her name? The Kestrel.
You said, turning the wrong page. Kestrana, yeah.
Kestrana. Just sort of charm her into maybe a little sort of soldier's kiss. I made that up. I don't know what that is, but...
So she will have gone home for the night because she was on in the morning. It is now late at night.
Can we do a Blades in the Dark? And he chatted to her on the way back in from the baths and like...
You can certainly try and make a charisma check with disadvantage.
Hold on. Why am I disadvantaged?
You don't know.
Turn into an elephant, then you'll get advantage.
Yeah.
It's
not a trick. All right, it's not a trick.
He's muted. We can't hear.
I always struggle finding it. I'm like alphabetically going down. Oh no, it's across the top. 9.
Okay, so as you go back to have a chat with her some hours earlier, Christine, sorry, Christine, dobbed you in. You notice that she's just leaving with another fox person who also seems to have this, beautiful feminine face, a little bit more of golden coloured fur, and they both have their arms around each other, one resting their head, Kestrana's resting her head on, and they seem to be heading home for the evening.
Okay, listen. With the greatest of respect, he doesn't know how polyamory works in this part of the world. He approaches them anyway, politely and respectfully, with genuine respect and love.
With their 6, with that 6 charisma roll, they quickly explain that they are headed home for the evening, because it's their anniversary, and that if they've got any problems, they should address them to the attendants still in the hotel, and they'll see him in the morning.
Oh, he'll seek out an attendant. Can he make a little bit out of some foil or some bits of paper on him? Can he make a little anniversary present, like a sort of like a origami sort of star or?
So do you have paper in your inventory?
I have such a weird picture in my head. It just goes up to him and says, "Oh, okay. Just take this origami."
It's an anniversary present. It's a lovely thing. He's just trying to celebrate in their love.
There's been some nights at a club where I've crapped out and I've had to do something like that to get me out of a situation. So it's all good. It's all good.
He just, I assume he'll find something in his inventory that is appropriate, some rope or something. I can go through my equipment if you like.
Rope.
Fine. I mean, you fashion something, and
it
becomes some kind of small origami-esque, beautiful lotus
for their time,
flower.
And for their anniversary.
You give it to them, and Kestrana says, "Thanks," and they kind of exeunt stage left.
He fully believes the exchange went over as best as it possibly could. Like he's fully like, oh yeah, that went all right, you know.
I expect that. So as everyone eventually makes their way to bed and heads to sleep, feeling safe in their own rooms or sharing rooms, Octavius, it's about 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. You're sitting there struggling to sleep a bit when you finally manage to fall asleep. Can you make me a dex saving throw?
Ooh. Some ninjas.
Natural 1 + 4, 5.
Rad.
Oh no.
Rad.
It's unreal.
This is a distress call. This is a distress call. I will give my home address for somebody to send Brad some new dice, because seriously, like, do it please, because this is ridiculous. I will dox myself.
Really needed.
I will dox myself. Right? Brad needs new dice. SOS.
Or just dox Brad.
needs
It's
new
worth
dice.
it. Just tell everyone Brad's address. It's worth
And
it.
they can all send him dice.
Sorry, I'm actually checking something.
Ninja attack. No.
Although your passive perception is through the roof, though. So
Yeah, but
how
I'm
does that work?
asleep.
Can you save those dice
asleep.
rolls for eventually when we do the Strahd game? Is that all right?
So,
Yeah, that's true. I roll really well.
Of
in
which
the
you're
strike
DM
games.
for, yeah.
so as you were lying there asleep, there is your senses hear a sound. You go to roll, but instantly you feel a knife stabbing down into you, and as you failed, and so badly, that means they auto crit.
Prone on the ground. Yeah.
And you take 39 points
What?
of
Unconscious.
piercing damage.
Shit, they killed him.
Well, you were asleep
Everyone
anyway.
else
No change
make
there.
everyone else in your separate rooms make me a perception check.
Oh God, I hope.
Johnny,
Yeah,
I have I know I'm in a different room,
yeah.
but I have the alert feat.
It means you can't be surprised.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering whether that might help me.
No. Well, it does help you that you can't be surprised, but you
I've
are
got
currently asleep. So
I got a dirty 20.
okay.
I got an
15.
18.
Basically, it's a
13.
hotel. Anyone who gets over 15, you hear Octavius scream. Not like a, but like the scream of someone who's just been stabbed. I would say Faeza as well. Toots instantly, completely lights up. And at that, I'm going to end tonight's session.
No!
No!
What's going on in my
I love
life?
it.
I've had such a nice day having baths and eating. And it all goes like this.
I'm scared of bards.
I knew I needed to get that threesome in before this happened. I just knew it. Now I'm never going to get one again.
Well, thank God you didn't.
Never
'cause you
going to have
wouldn't
fun
be here.
ever again. Oh, that's totally true. Well,
Oh God.
What have we learnt now?
I hope Octavius knows what I'm sacrificing for him.
Well, you'll make it very clear to him, I'm sure.
Ripper's gonna wake up, grab his stick, and then grab his staff and go chasing down.
Well,
Terrible.
we will
Terrible.
find out next session what happens. So we hope you've enjoyed at home. It was mostly a very relaxed episode. Not at the end. So next we'll pick that up.
Fully stunned.
Good.
Let us know if you're willing to take up the gamble of giving Brad some free dice, right?
He needs them.
At
He
Blood
needs
Song
them.
Party on
There's
Twitter,
something
at
going
Blood and
wrong.
Song. DM us if you're like, yep, I'll do it. I'll send some dice. DM us.
The
I'll
dice
find
appeal.
an
Bradley
address
tells
or a
you.
PO
I tell you
box
what, the
box.
only
Send it
time,
to-
the only time I rolled above a 10 this episode was when I got a natural 20 to flick dick.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's the most irrelevant role in the entire thing.
But so
That's the
you
quote
need
of the
to,
week.
you need to go to our socials at Blood Song Party, at Blood and Song. You need to subscribe, you need to share, and you need to tell us if you're going to send Bradley some dice. Do the first two first.
If we don't get 5 extra subscribers on YouTube or Twitch by next week, Brad will die.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Not Octavius. Brad.
Brad will
that.
die.
Why are you
We all
saying
know
that?
where he
But
lives.
by feeding him cake. That's okay. Christine's going to...
And you said that,
He's gonna
Destiny.
kill him with
It's the
fruit on it.
hardcore
True,
cake.
but
that
That's
this
you're
is
what
gonna
I
do.
brutal,
cake.
man. This is
Yeah,
brutal.
and that's why we did the holdover. Like, me and Johnny have been talking about this, and I'm ready.
You're ready to die. For the
Um,
game, for Blood and Song, you're ready. Yeah.
so I would say to people, please do say like and subscribe. If you've got any friends you'd like to introduce, if they're not sure about settling in for a live stream, podcasts in 20-minute sections, 25-minute sections. That's amazing to get people in. Available at all good sites. Please do leave a review if you've liked it on Apple Podcasts. That would be amazing. And until next week, may the great goddess guide you in all that you do.